national title winner, has never won a title before. I was listening to Joel Klatt. I think he was saying that the last time that a team won the national championship that had never won a title before was like the late 90s, like 96 or something. Curtis, when was Florida's first title?
Yeah, 96.
Thank
Florida
you.
Gators.
Yeah, that was the last time that happened. Since 96.
It's been a while. Congrats to the who's yours? That's kind of fire, though. They
That's
kept
great,
saying that. I'm
right?
like, yeah. Were y'all saying that like back in the 1800s and stuff?
I hope they were.
If they were saying that in the 1800s,
was
they was ahead of the
popping.
game.
You know what I
Ahead
mean?
of the game.
I don't know what else was going on in the 1800s.
Me neither.
But Hoosier football
Hey,
was great.
But big ups to Indiana. It was fun to watch that game. I felt the Hoosiers would win. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. I think Carson Beck and the Canes gave it a good run. The first half was kind of slow. It was 10-0. Then Miami comes out the second half. They got a big run, put some points on the board. Then there's a back and forth going on. You score on special teams, you're probably going to win that ball game. They had a block. Indiana had a block punt for a touchdown. And then the run by Fernando Mendoza. That's going to be played in college football highlights for eternity. 4th and 5, you have your offense out there. Then you throw your special teams out there. You say, you know what, timeout, let's throw our offense back out there. You call your QB's number, 4th and 5. He gets to the end zone. It was drama. It was good, man. CFP, you guys did it right. You got Miami in this thing. Miami was worthy. And then the Hoosiers just took care of business.
What a year for Fernando Mendoza, too. You become Indiana's very first Heisman winner. You win a national championship off of a 16-0 season, and you're about to be the first overall pick for the Raiders. A really cool kid to coach for whoever that head coach is going to be. We'll find out eventually. But an amazing story. And while it, in theory, has nothing to do with the Seahawks, I found myself watching this game, enjoying the game, but also thinking a lot about turnarounds, right? Because that's kind of, what are we talking about when we're talking about Indiana? You're talking about a team that is not a blue blood winning. Mm-hmm. You're talking about what it means for college football, which we will get to a bit later. And you're talking about turnarounds. What does it take to have a great turnaround? How do these programs turn around? So that's where I'm connecting it to the NFL this weekend. Again, the Seahawks and Patriots have had infinitely more success as professional programs than Indiana has as a school. Again, they were 2-10 in 2021. I am so happy for Indiana. But a lot of organizations go through turnarounds, some very quick and very successful, like what Signetti has done with Indiana. And so I wanted to kind of figure out, well, what goes into a good turnaround? How does a program turn it around? How do you, like if you're Indiana, get that done in, 2 years? How do you, his first season really with 11 wins. How do you, if you're Mike Vrabel, take a 4-win Patriots team to being the number 2 seed and now, in all likelihood heading to the Super Bowl? If you're Mike McDonald, yeah, you inherited a 9-10 win team, but they've suddenly gone from 31st against the run to the best defense in football. So what goes into turnarounds? What are the ingredients needed?
First is leadership. You got to bring in a guy that can rally the troops from top to bottom. I'm talking like from the owners to GM, to scouts, coaches, players. There has to be a guy that walks into the room and everybody wants to listen to what he's saying and they believe into what he or she are saying and go out there and execute it. And then you got to have teachers underneath the guy who's changing your philosophy. Do you have guys who support everything that you say, right? Walk blindly in faith because what you say is the Bible to them, is gospel to them, and they're going to teach that to your kids and your message, or men, and your message is consistent. And then it comes to, this is what I loved about Indiana, it comes down to development because they had no 5 stars on their roster, not one, 8 4-stars. You had to go through an Oregon team that got about 105 stars. You have to go through an Alabama team who got like 105 stars. And an Oklahoma team, no, they didn't play Oklahoma. They had to buy that week. But you have to go through 2 teams, plus Miami, who's got a bunch of 5 stars, that took the approach of, we're just going to put a whole bunch of talent together, and we're going to make this thing work, which that can work. It has worked before, and it can work. Bama did it for a long time, but it was different because they were just stockpiling talent, didn't have to deal with the portal. But with Indiana, it was about development. And I think that's the most important part, and that cannot be lost on any level. Whether we're talking youth sports, high school, college, the pros, you still must always be developing your team. And then you kind of got to get lucky too, man. You gotta get the right group of guys to fit your system and what you want to run. If you look at Indiana, they had a bunch of dudes from James Madison that were overlooked. old guys, 23-year-olds out there. This was it seemed like it happened overnight, but when you look at the personnel of Indiana, it was a slower process just because of the type of guys they had on the roster, whether it be their ranking or their age. So now you get to the NFL, and a lot of times people just think you get to the NFL, you're a finished product, you're good to go. No.
You may not even be done growing.
No, some of the worst coaching I got was in the NFL because they just expected you to know what to do. And I'm sitting here, I'm learning from other guys. Because I am in a room where you have a Pro Bowler here, a 5-year vet here, a 7-year vet there. So a guy like me, obviously undrafted free agent, they're not going to invest a whole lot in me, though. I'm learning from these guys. And I think sometimes that's lost in the NFL. And it's partly because of the organizations, because they want to win right now. So coaches don't have the time to hold the hand of this undrafted guy and say, all right, these are things you have to do. It's more get in there and learn because my job's on the line every single week. So development, man, I think that's the biggest part. That's what I learned watching this IU team do their thing is Cignetti developed, scouted his butt off, got the right players there, and did it with some blue-collar dudes.
So you have not only been part of teams and been a player before, but have also felt that development was lacking. So I totally get that that's your answer. I'm on the outside looking in as someone who hasn't played. My first thought was, buy-in. Both of us kind of settled on great coaching and buy-in. But then connectivity. Because, look, I'm coming at it from the point of view of someone watching as opposed to part of a group. And I feel like there was a lot of very real trust relationships, even if they weren't diehard friendships with every single person on that 2013 team. In hindsight, we know that some people didn't get along, but they certainly all felt like a unit who people had overlooked and disregarded, right? Like some of your top players were day 3 picks. So there was a lot of like a chip on your shoulder. This year's team, they seem to get along really, really well. And we hear that from people in the building who have no real reason to lie when they're talking kind of off the record, that they seem to really, really get along. And I was thinking about that watching Indiana and like great college football programs. There's different things that go into that connectivity when you're in college. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't have families and you're not living apart in the same way.
Unless you go to BYU.
Right. But what do you think of that as being like genuine, as cliche as it sounds, genuine connection with teammates as being a real ingredient?
No, that's huge, man. I think on any level, the team that is closest. Now that's a part of it. I think you become closer to once you start winning. As well.
True.
I think this offseason we heard Mike McDonald did a whole bunch of different things when it comes to getting his guys to connect. Typically, what do football teams do? We're going to the military base. They're going to put us through a gauntlet of drills, and we're going to become men and all that stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. These guys are the best athletes in the world, right? Yeah. They probably don't need all that stuff, but I get the benefit of that. This year, they do more of connecting. Like, we are in the building every Thursday for the huddle, 12 to 2, holla at us. And every now and then a coach comes in when we're prepping and say, hey, can we use this room, right? And, of course, it's your facility. We're guests here. We go to our little dungeon, and we start prepping in there.
It's a studio.
But while they're in the bigger room, we can't hear what they're saying, but they're having deep conversations about life and football, and they're genuinely connecting. And when you connect with somebody on a different level, in anything, it could be you and I working together, a random person at the bar or on the street, there's just a different feeling. You're more invested in that person and what they care about and who they are and what they want to be. So now you take that to the football field, and you're ready. Like, you trust my safety's going to stay over the top because I know he's grinding, he's worked for this. And even if he makes a mistake, I love him so much, I'm not going to jump on him, right? We got to be able to be resilient and bounce back. So, yes, I think being close has a lot to do with winning formula. But there's talent, there's culture, there's coaching, there's scheme. There's a whole bunch of ways to do this. You can win a championship by buying it. Texas Tech almost bought themselves a championship. I don't know how close their team is, but they were nobodies a couple years ago.
I have two interesting cuts I want to get to. First, Mike Golick Sr. talking about, we all talk about X's and O's. We know McDonald knows that, and we tend to, when we talk about coaches and what can make a great coach go, oh, who's the brainiac? You know, how do you get him in here? He'll fix it. But wait a minute, you need more.
Boy, oh boy, they are doing a great job. Again, what Mike McDonald brings, again, from the mentality standpoint, X's and O's are X's and O's. You have to have guys obviously execute. You have to have guys that can disguise well and not give something away before the snap. There's all of that. But then there's the belief from the coach to the players that what what you're doing works. And obviously that's evident in the wins, right? If you're winning, you tend to buy what's being sold to you a little bit more. And they're winning, and they're led by their defense. So that's obviously going to be good sold goods.
Daniel Jeremiah talking with Brock and Salk about culture.
I can't tell you again, it's just so fun to watch them. It's so fun to watch them, the way they run to the ball late in the game, in a blowout game, and you don't have your starters out there, and they still sprint to the football. So that's John, that's John's vision, and they made it come to life. It's again, it's fun to watch.
I think that every single college football team, NFL team, and we could expand this beyond just football, have people in the building who know ball. That's how you get that job, even if you're an Epo baby.
Yeah.
You know ball. But if knowing football was all it took to have a brilliant turnaround, well, then McDaniel would have led the Dolphins to a Super Bowl. He's clearly very smart. Matt Patricia would have led the Lions to a Super Bowl. He's clearly very smart.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys who absolutely know ball. The Cleveland Browns, who constantly get a top 5 pick all the time, would have a roster full of first-team All-Pros. But just knowing the X's and O's and just knowing that a certain player is athletically gifted does not an actual culture make. You need the intangibles. I felt myself just thinking a lot about that last night, thinking about culture building, thinking about, when you're drafting, you're looking for great athletes, but John Schneider's talked about, well, we also look for character, and we also look for, guys that we think are going to be able to blend together and have the buy-in that we need. Like, there's just getting along. You mentioned guys just getting along being central to that. All these things that we can kind of tend to overlook or think like, yeah, sure, that's part of it. Like, it's real. It's very real. When you talk about a great team, teamwork is central to that.
Yeah, Paul Moyer and I do Hawks Live for like 14 weeks on Thursday nights. So we've been doing this, me and Paul have been doing this together, 6 years, I want to say. And the last 3 years, we'll say, we've had conversations that the players that we've been interviewing are just different. Because we'll get the rookies and then we'll get a couple vets. And they're all different, but they all have something in common. And they all love football. They all are just respectful young men. They stay late and sign every autograph when they don't have to. Our producer, Nasser Chobe's always like, I'll be the bad guy. I'll get you out of here. 9 times out of 10, they're staying to sign every autograph. They're nice to people. We still see that dog in them. Like the last 3 years, we've seen a different type of player try to come through here. And don't get it twisted. Like a guy like Jay Reed, old head, you still need, right? He's got that grumpy old man to him. You need that. A guy like Leo. But you combine the old heads with these younger guys who are buying into what Mike McDonald was selling. That's why you have this type of connectivity. And then you get the old guys to buy in. There are guys who are just a couple years younger than Mike McDonald who are buying into what he has going. So it's a formula, man. And once you get it right, you try to hold on to it as long as you can. Eventually, it's going to run out.
Yeah.
Eventually, the sauce is gone. But so far, with this Mike McDonald situation, he's figured something out.
I just find myself, the older you get, the more you find yourself believing in things that you thought was just fluff. Right? Like the older I get, the more I really appreciate time with family. The older I get, the more I appreciate having time, right? I love time more.
Sleep. Love
right?
me some sleep.
Right, exactly. A good meal, like just little things. I feel like that's how I've been with football. Like when I first started covering sports, you're really drawn to the X's and O's and learning how someone's out scheming someone else. And all of that is real. Like that's a very important part of it. Sean McVay's brilliant as a play caller. Kyle Shanahan's brilliant as a play caller. That's part of their recipe. It's important. Same with McDonald. But then you start to realize, when we have Ray Roberts on and he talks about the importance of the run game, even though we're hearing all these conversations about how running backs don't matter, it's because there's just a football truth that he knows over time to be true, right? Like the things that people talk about, if you hear Brock talk about it's really important that you have good culture and good buy-in. It's not just saying stuff to fill space. It's learning over time that those things genuinely matter. And so I find myself thinking of that a lot. And the Indiana story, there's a cool conversation about college football we'll have, but I found myself being very interested in culture building and turnaround and those things that you come to appreciate about football over time.
Yeah, it's when the fact that you mentioned, you said as you've gotten older, you're starting to appreciate these things more.
Yeah, not that old.
Just older.
Older than I was.
I think that speaks to just how young people are. You don't want to believe in the fluff and the corniness of being together and rah, rah, rah. But once you get into it and you start seeing the results of believing in that, you're like, all right, man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. And I think that is what is happening here in Seattle is that young guys are buying in. Those are the hardest ones. The old guys already know. Leo's been on some bad teams over there with the Jets in New York, right? Jay Reed's been on some bad teams. Like all these other guys, Jay Love has been on some bad teams. They know. So once you get the older guys to buy into that stuff, the younger guys are going to buy into it too. And then you win. It doesn't help that you won the division and you win a whole bunch of ball games. You smacking dudes around.
I mean, that's pretty sweet too.
You start to really drink that Kool-Aid.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Titans are hiring former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be their next head coach. What's the real headline?
They saw those 41 points San Francisco allowed on Saturday and said, that's our guy.
Gotta have that.
That's messed up.
I know
Need
we're
that.
poking. I know Curtis and I are poking fun at Saleh and the Titans a little bit here, but I actually do like this hire for Tennessee. I know people still want to see, okay, well, what's their answer for development for Cam Ward? You brought in a defensive guy. That's really important, but what do you do there? I do like this, though.
Yeah, I think they looked at that last game and said, we know. No Bosa.
No
Fred.
Warner.
Like, we get it, man. You're playing with your fifth linebacker over there. We get it. You've got so much more film that shows you know what the heck you're doing. And also, we're going to allow you to do you over here. We're not going to bring in a veteran quarterback who's going to try to run things and fire coaches like they did with Aaron Rodgers. The main thing with Saleh is that he finds the right person for Cam Ward. Like, Cam Ward has potential to be a top 10, top 15 quarterback next year. He's got the potential, but it's going to be a slow grind. So, good hire. I think Saleh's a good leader. Now it's about surrounding your team with the right coaches, but the quarterback is the most important part.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, the Steelers are interviewing Mike McCarthy for their head coaching vacancy. What's the real headline?
After years of falling short in the playoffs, the right guy for the job is definitely someone known for that.
I can say the same thing every day when I hear an old name pop up. That's the NFL for you. You're just going to get recycled and do your thing. I think McCarthy is a good coach, but there's something to be said of a guy who can't get over the hump. So McDermott couldn't get over the hump. That's why they let him go, right? And most of the time, that's the situation when it comes to these coaches. I wish I could be there for these interview processes to see exactly how they're convincing these guys that they're the man for the job. I'm not saying he will be a bad hire. I'm just saying we know what we know. And he's been a guy who can get there but can't get over the hump. He does have a Super Bowl, though, right?
He does,
so,
but at what, 15 years ago now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's got one.
2010, right?
A lot of these dudes ain't got one.
Yes, 2010. Over the Steelers, ironically, but yeah, it does point to just the same names. Trust is massive. Once the NFL knows it can trust you, and you can bring in your head coaches. I think that's also an advantage for them to be like, well, he's connected. He knows guys to bring in.
Right.
That's the risk in bringing in a younger first-team coach. Is like when Seattle hired Mike Macdonald, it was with the knowledge of he's brilliant, he's really promising, he has it, but he's got to build up his Rolodex still.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number three, Indiana is your 2026 college football national champion after beating Miami to cap off a perfect 16-0 season. Here's how the game's final play sounded.
Back, steps up, delivers downfield, intercepted! Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
What's the real headline?
Your favorite college football team's running out of excuses if Indiana can win a national title.
Here's what people might not know about Indiana. They have the deepest alumni group in the world, Craig.
I did not know
the
that.
Deepest in the country. Also, you got Mark Cuban over there as one of your alums, too. He's definitely dropping money into that. Yeah, so what it made me do, I went to ChatGPT, like an old man, and I said, the richest WSU alumni, who is it? Rest in peace, Paul Allen. Even though he didn't graduate from WSU, he went there. But we just don't have a lot. I'm like, all right, how can we do this? How can we attract people to come to Washington State? I know it's a long shot, but I'm like, if Indiana can do it, we should be able to do it. No, Indiana's deep. They are so deep when it comes to their alumni. I don't see them going away because I see them investing in Indiana and making sure players show up. And Cignetti has that personality that I think connects with these young people. He's going to be able to recruit. I'm not saying he's going to win another championship next year, but they ain't going nowhere.
No.
They're going to be good to go.
I find him so likable. This team so likable. Congratulations to them. Do you name your chat GPT?
Nah.
Oh.
You named yours?
Yeah, her name's Denise.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
You can say your name is Denise now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to name
And then when
mine.
you ask it a question, it goes, hey, Stacy, Denise here.
Really?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Matt, do you name your chat GPT? You're going to say something about, like, moral qualms.
I have never and will never use ChatGPT or any other generative AI program.
No, for sure. Like, I totally agree with you.
What
but
are you,
just
like, 55?
sometimes-
Or are you just going to...
Well, no, there's...
No, I try to do my own research, but
Oh.
Okay, I
Well,
don't use
sometimes I don't
ChatGPT
have-
all the
I don't
time.
have that time.
Yeah, sometimes it's
All
just
right,
in a
I need
hurry.
an answer right now. Hey, Matt, you go to one symphony. Start acting different.
Oh, that reminds me. You wanted to ask Matt a question.
Matt, how was the symphony,
Yay.
man? I got a picture. He actually sent me a picture. I asked for a picture. He sent me a picture. I appreciate
I
that.
didn't get a photo.
you didn't want a photo. You don't care about Blade Runner and Symphony.
That's true.
And Bump only does to be nice.
No, I was really
No, 'cause
interested.
he's really your friend, and he was interested.
Accept this
Not hard to
friendship.
believe.
All right, just
Are you
accept
going to
it.
answer Bump's question? How was the symphony?
It was amazing. It really was great. I still wish the Seahawks would have played on Sunday to make the day a little bit easier, but
Yeah.
it was a really great experience.
Nice.
Were there Seahawks fans there?
I sat next to a guy in a Seahawks jersey,
Nice.
which felt like a strange piece of irony to start that day.
You're trying to escape the game.
I really
And then
did.
you show up.
And it
I
did not
appreciate
work.
that guy in a Seahawks jersey was like, I'm supporting my team, but unfortunately, I am choosing the symphony right now.
Yeah, what a fascinating mix of things that guy was.
Was the symphony during the game?
I think, it overlapped a little bit, but not
Okay.
by much. Like, he probably missed the last hour of the game.
Well, we're glad that you were able
I
to
mean, that
make
game
it.
was over heading into the
Yeah.
last hour.
He saw the first kickoff return touchdown, was like, all right, let's get this.
Hey, they're on our head for ChatGPT, by the way.
Oh,
They're-
I
they're
know.
on
I
our head.
understand.
I don't care.
I understand.
I don't care.
Well, no. First of all, I don't use ChatGPT. There are people that will use ChatGPT to like write whole articles and papers and like do crazy things, or do ChatGPT when they can Google. I've used it a handful of times for like, hey, come up with this meal plan that includes this, and this macros. Like things where you're like, oh, I'm not really qualified to figure this out.
Yeah, I just use it for random stuff like richest Washington State University alums.
But see, you
Tell me.
can Google that.
You can. But when I'm driving, I just, boop. Hey, I'm going to name him Dennis. Dennis. Let me know.
Your Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game, and we've got 2 tickets to get you in the building on Sunday. Just open the Seattle Sports app and then tap the Win tab to find out how to enter. If you don't have the app, no problem. You can text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter every day to increase your chances. This contest runs through Wednesday, January 21st. Enter now, only on the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, what Indiana's historic rise means for the future of college football. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald. The bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle Sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom! That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Italian subs for your finance team in Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, one reason this weekend's meeting between the Seahawks and Rams can make history. Before we get to it, what Indiana's historic rise means for the future of college football. Kurt Cignetti's team went 16-0, perfect season capped off by a championship. Here's what he said about what Indiana's title means for college football. football?
I think we sent a message, first of all, to society that if you keep your nose to the grindstone and work hard and you got the right people, anything's possible. In our particular situation in the athletic world, college football's changed quite a bit, the balance of power also. But we had the right people on our staff, in the weight room, in the locker room. And we had great senior leadership and togetherness, and we had a really good quarterback that played his best when the chips were down. And if you prepare the right way, which this team did week in, week out, and put it on the field, we met the challenge every single week, and we're 16-0. Are there 8 first-round draft choices on this team? Probably not. No, there aren't. But this team, the whole was greater than the sum of its parts.
Now, it is okay, Bump. It will not depress us if your answer is no. But does Indiana doing this mean that other non-blue blood, but still talented programs, like a Washington, that they could do this?
Yeah, I think there's no one way to do anything. We got 3 shows here, 6 different hosts. None of us are the same, right? And I still think all 3 shows are pretty good shows. There's always multiple ways to do some things. But I think this does give hope to the smaller guy. What did it do for me? First thing I did was look up, okay, Washington State, how can we get this money? How do we get this money and attract some talent so we can compete like IU did? The worst D1 program in all of football.
All the land.
All the land.
The world, Craig.
The world, Craig. And in 2 years, they're national champions.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it does get some hope, especially a place like UW. Man, there's no excuse now for UW. There is no excuse. You have all the resources in the world. You have one of the most beautiful campuses in all the land. Your stadium is by the water. It's all set up. It's all set up, but it takes investment. And that's what IU did. They invested in their coach, and they invested in these kids. But you got to get lucky, too. It's got to be the right combination of kids.
Yeah.
He got 23-year-olds from James Madison to come over. I mentioned no 5 stars at all. It's a formula that Signetti has brought to IU, and I don't know exactly what it is because I'm not in the building with him.
I'll say this. What I like about your answer and what I like about Indiana's story is that they were dominant, and you're right that it started with the coach and it started with investing and it started with recruiting and getting the right kids in the building. This wasn't a team that lucked into it where you go, well, yeah, I mean, I'd love Washington or Arizona for Curtis, Washington State for you. Like, I'd love any of our alma maters to do that, but, like, how do you replicate luck? But Indiana didn't luck into things outside of the timing has to be right and, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is a dominant team. They were dominant. They beat Ohio State in their conference championship to get to being the number 1 ranked team. And then they went through Bama, Miami, and Oregon. Not in that order, obviously.
No, those wins aren't luck. I'm saying, like, the events leading up to this season, or maybe even last season, right? You gotta find a kid in the portal that no one's really rocking with, but you see something in them. You're like, why the heck isn't this kid being recruited? Mendoza is from Miami, and Miami wasn't even looking at Mendoza. He goes to Cal, and even after he was in the portal at Cal, they're like, nah, I'm good. And then what happens? You got Signetti who goes over there, sees something in Mendoza, brings him over here. Heisman, 16-0, first time since Yale did it. I believe it was Yale. Yeah, Yale did it. Like, I mean luck as far as the events that happened before a season. Once you play football, no, that's preparation. That is being well coached. That's guys being bought into this this program, and you went out there and just whooping somebody's butt.
Okay, does it start with finding your own Signetti?
Your Signetti. It goes with finding your leader for your program.
Okay.
It always starts up top with the head. You think of all the last 3 national champions. We got Indiana, Signetti. We got Ohio State, Day. We have Michigan. Was Harbaugh there? Was it Harbaugh?
It was, yes.
Harbaugh's
last
season.
season.
And these are guys who have been proven at every stop. Signetti, the one just came out of nowhere. Granted, he won games at James Madison, and he was like IU something before that. I don't even know what the heck it's called. But he showed that he knows how to win at those levels, and IU just took a chance on him. And but yeah, it all starts up top of the head.
So how does Washington get here? Like, I know that, you know, you want to talk about Washington State, and Curtis is going to focus on Arizona, though you're Arizona basketball. Congratulations. You've got
they're
some
rolling right now.
Yeah, rolling. But I want to talk about Washington football. I know the path for Oregon is doing exactly what they've done, and hopefully next year it works out for them, right? They have a ton of money in NIL deals. They have a great coach. They have they've got the ingredients. It just wasn't their year and it didn't work out. I feel like Washington's missing some of the ingredients here. And I agree with the point of teams like Washington running out of excuses, right? It's okay if you're not Ohio State. It is not okay to be routinely unranked. And I know you had to build yourself back up from losing your coach and basically your team following the national title game. But now you better be ranked. You better compete. You better improve from last season.
Well, it all started with making sure DeMond came back.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure he came back, because if he hit that portal, he would have been the most sought-after quarterback in college football. So that's step number one, making sure he's back. And now you have to replace guys like Denzel Boston, who's going to go to the league. He'll probably be like the 4th or 5th receiver picked in that draft. It's about replenishing every single year. And then do Husky fans think that Jedd Fisch is the guy to take them to that next level? To me, I look at Jedd Fisch. He knows ball. He knows football. He's been around a long time, and I respect him and what he does. But is he the guy? Does he give you national championship type of vibes? I haven't been around him enough. When I was around the board, because he used to invite us in and sit down and watch film with him and all that stuff, I felt like, all right, he might be a guy who can do that. I don't know Jedd Fisch well enough, personality-wise, to sit here and be like, I will follow that guy. I think he's a guy.
I don't get Cignetti vibes from Jedd Fisch. Now Cignetti is the most recent head coach to win. There are many other examples. I could certainly get Jim Harbaugh maybe a little bit, right? Like a little, or maybe Day even, but Cignetti, no, I don't get that total vibe from Fisch. Maybe he can prove me wrong, right? And that's not the only head coach to win. You can have different personality types, but I have faith that Jedd knows ball, can recruit, can help build the program up. What does culture building look like? I wish I had answers to those questions.
Me too. UW, let me be around the program a little bit. Let me feel you. Probably Brock would be someone to talk to about this because he's around, or his brother Damon, who I know. So, yeah, I'm going to do some fishing around, man, because surface level type stuff, I look at UW and I think, yeah, you should be in the mix. But now you are in the toughest conference in football. The last 3 national champions have come from the Big Ten. So you got to go through that as well. The Big Ten is the best conference in football right now. SEC, sit down. It's all good. You've had your run. The Big Ten is running stuff now.
That's actually the last question I was going to ask you, and I was going to ask Curtis, too, if you guys think Big Ten supremacy right now reigns true.
They run it.
I mean, Paul Feinbaum is going to be so upset.
They run it. Even he admitted it. Even he did. On ESPN, it was like, well, can't come in here and say SEC. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Bump, let's get to Seahawks. One reason this weekend's meeting between Seattle and LA could make history next.
I got to get mentally into this.
The Mike McDonald Show.
That was the most complimentary game you said you've played. Yeah, I could have easily said complete game for sure. That highlights the synergy and connection that we have with our group. It's not like we're not playing in silos. Defensively, when it's our opportunity to take the field, we're trying to help the offense out. Vice versa offense. We did a great job of scoring in the red zone, finishing drives off, things like that.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
This message
message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text CAR to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's CAR to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
From Aaron Schatz by DVOA. the metric he invented by deep, and it's great. That sounded shady, but it's not. DVOA is a very useful tool. The NFC Championship game is essentially the best NFL matchup of the last 47 years and by a lot. What? What? He said this is only the 7th playoff game ever between two teams over 30% in DVOA. The 2019 Super Bowl between the Chiefs and 49ers is the one not on this table. He includes a table. So this is the highest ranked, right? Or the most recent. The next closest, New England in 2007, obviously, in that AFC Championship game against Jacksonville. And the divisional game as well. New England kind of carrying the load there with an absolutely unreal season, considered, I think, probably by most people, the best team in NFL history. And then 2013, Seattle's on this list. All of this is to say, we're not just watching the two Super Bowl favorites compete this weekend in Seattle. We are watching two of, statistically, the best teams we've ever seen meet at this level.
Dang.
That's history.
It's history, Craig. This is, and I get it, because you watch the Rams play.
Mm-hmm.
You see Puka going nuts. Devontae's back. Matthew Stafford's balling. Defensively, that has some deficiencies, but every team has their shortcomings, right? And throughout this whole year, the Rams have been the team that I keep my eye on at all times.
Yeah.
I never look away. It's like when I was walking home one day, that dog that I knew could hop that fence at any moment. I'm going to keep my eye on him the whole time.
Your analogies come out of the woodwork sometimes.
And they're real, because I really had a dog that I walked by every morning.
Have you ever been bitten by a dog?
Yes.
How many times?
Just once.
I've been bitten by a dog.
Really?
Yeah. It was a dachshund.
I don't know what kind of dog that is.
Like a little wiener dog.
Oh, the wiener dog.
It was violent.
Was it?
It was aggressive. It was an aggressive dog. And I'm a short person.
Well, that's what the Rams are.
I felt like that was a fair fight.
The Rams are a little wiener dog that you keep your eye on at all time.
Yeah.
Because
I don't trust him anymore.
You know what it can do. So this makes sense to me, but to see it in numbers-wise, I guess that puts it in more perspective, because finally this morning, you know, when I'm working out, I'm on the treadmill, I flip through some channels, some podcasts, and I listen to some dudes. I try not to give them too much of my attention, but today they got me, because they were talking about Seahawks favorite to win. I go, oh, y'all picking the Hawks now.
What?
Man, it took you long enough to come around. And but they also show the same respect to the Rams that I think you have to give to the Rams because of their personnel, their coaching staff, and what they're able to do over there. Oh no, this doesn't make me feel any better, Stacy. Makes me even more nervous about this game.
I'm sorry. My intention was not to make everyone be like, oh my God, no. I don't want to think that the other half of this game, the visiting half of this game, is an incredible team. But in terms of just like the NFL history, we're going to see this potentially. I hope it's one of the best games we've ever seen. Like, this is not, solid teams that just kind of lucked into this, or a number one seed that had some lucky wins. These are the two teams with the best point differentials, the greatest margin of victory, two of the highest scoring offenses and defenses in the league. I mean, these are two very complete teams with some slight advantages over each other. Seattle has a special teams advantage heading into this one. Could that play a part if it's a very narrow win, right? Special teams advantage may not sway the minds of a lot of bettors, but if we're talking about the difference being a field goal or maybe a blocked kick or something, yeah, special teams matters.
Special teams is huge. We saw that last night during the national championship. You block a punt, get into the end zone, boom, you're probably going to win that game. I ran the numbers yesterday. I said, punt return? Actually, let me look into my notes here. Give me 1 second. Okay.
I'm shoving the glasses up your nose.
A kick return in the NFL, a kick return to the house, you're going to win 90 to 92% of the time. Punt return to the house, 88 to 91%. Any non-offensive touchdown, 85 to 90%. That's where the Hawks have the biggest advantage over the Rams, is that we know their special teams to struggle. They lost on a blocked field goal, scoop and score to Philly. They obviously let Rashid take one to the house against them. That's where they struggle. But if it doesn't come down to that, you know what it comes down to. Running the ball and the play of both quarterbacks. And here's what I like about where the Seahawks are right now. They are running the football better than the Rams at this point. What's it going to look like without Zach Charbonnet? We're going to break that down later. But because they are running that rock the way that they are, I feel a bit more confident than I did a couple weeks ago.
How do you feel about the Rams right now versus how you felt about the Rams heading into Thursday night? I was very intimidated by the Rams heading into Thursday night, and if you were to ask me off air at the time, I would have said, I think the Rams win.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't, thankfully.
I think the Rams have been beat up. They have been on a path to get to this moment that it could wear a team down. They're still more than capable of putting up good numbers and putting up a fight. I expect that. But there's something to be said about a team who got to rest for a week. You had a blowout game against the Niners.
A week and a quarter.
Your quarterback was out. Everybody, mama was out in the fourth quarter. The Rams have had to play every single snap, every second on the clock for 2 weeks.
Overtime. Mm-hmm.
Like, this is it's been a tough road for them. But I guarantee you on their side, their people, their media, they're saying, battle tested. We're good to go. We've been through these battles. Nothing's going to scare us at this point. So it's a mentality type of thing. I don't think the Hawks are going to look at the Rams and say, oh, they've been beat up. We should be able to handle them. No, that's for us to do. You know, because I know as a ball player, your body hurts. You played more snaps. You played in the cold. Like, it's been a long road for these guys, but they'll be ready to go and coached up.
253, a fluke play is the only reason you beat the Rams. I disagree. I'm sorry. Last time I checked, the defense forced, 3 consecutive punts for the Rams in the fourth quarter? You had a 16-point lead, correct? A 14-point lead at one point? How did a successful 2-point conversion that you might disagree with for Seattle sway that game? It didn't. You gave up that lead. You also allowed Seattle to march down the field and get that final 2-point conversion, which, by the way, mattered. It's very obviously successful. I think that's, and you know what? I always get on Rams fans for this. Everyone very conveniently forgets that Seattle drastically outpaced the Rams in their first meeting. Mm-hmm. Rams will say, like, oh, you know, we won that first one, and then the second one, you got away with like a lucky 2-point conversion. Well, hang on a second. Hold
your horses,
Hold your horses. Matthew Stafford threw for his fewest passing yards of the season in the first meeting in LA between these two teams. Yeah, you got the win, but it's like Ray Roberts said, you were 3 feet away from losing. A little bit closer, and that kick sails through the uprights.
Listen, you got the ball overtime, you went down and scored and couldn't stop these guys. Seahawks went down 9 plays, 65 yards, scored, and said, we're going for the win. Let's go for 2 and get her done. There's never one play that determines the whole game. And there's always multiple events that lead up to the culmination.
Yeah.
And what led up to that was the overtime and the 2-point conversion. But I understand why the Rams fans would say that. You're supposed to say that.
Sure.
You know what we're supposed to say? Nah, fool. Y'all didn't stop us. We're supposed to go back and forth like this. So keep on. This is going to be a great game.
Yeah.
This is going to be the most watched game of the playoffs.
Also, why are you texting into us? You know why? Because they don't have Rams friends in LA to talk to. They're like, I got to talk to someone about this team. I guess I'll text into Seattle Sports Radio. It's the only, none of my friends out here, they're all Lakers fans. I have no one to talk to. Also, a lot of people texting me in that their dachshund, someone said, my dachshund loves biting ankles. We're not telling the truth about dachshunds. I think we need to have an honest conversation, and we need to spread the word that they're violent creatures.
If I see a dachshund, I cannot keep my eyes off of them.
They look sweet and innocent and adorable. They're killers. We're not being honest enough about it. ESPN's Brady Henderson joins us next. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event. Powered by WFC, Friday night, February 6th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, February 6th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The rainy season's here, Seattle, and your roof can't wait. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off today. Costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes won't hold up and just drain your pockets. Our technicians replace roofs year-round, backed by the strongest warranties. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers who claimed their first national championship with a win over Miami last night. The 27-21 win capped off a perfect 16-0 season for Curt Cignetti's team, one that also saw them get their first Heisman winner just 4 years after the program went 2-10. The Titans have found their next head coach. 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets head coach Robert Saleh signed a 5-year deal with Tennessee. That first reported by ESPN.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
ESPN's Brady Henderson joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Seahawks one win away from going to a Super Bowl. Let's look back at their last win before we preview this game, though. Brady, I wanted to start with quarterback. I think that a lot of the sentiment I heard around the league from critics nationally, understandably, was, hey, Sam Darnold just needs to not make a mistake, and that'll be enough. What did you make of Sam's day? He didn't make a mistake, but did he contribute even more than you expected?
Well, he looked, I would say, like it just looked like kind of a normal Sam Darnold game. And obviously the final numbers get skewed because, he gets pulled with whatever it was, 9 minutes left in the game and only ends up throwing 17 times. But, when he did throw the ball and when he did drop back, it just kind of looked normal. Like, he looked like he was moving with his usual mobility and he was throwing with his usual zip. And, I was paying a very close eye on that first quarter play when, he tries to escape pressure on the rollout, gets sacked from behind, and kind of hits the ground hard. He got up a little bit gingerly, and then, I'm thinking, okay, well, what's Sam Darnold going to look like? Is he feeling it right now? And then the next play, he just rips a throw, with like a good amount of zip, but also had to layer it over a defender on the sideline to Cooper Kupp. And as Mike McDonald told us yesterday, he was nervous when he saw Darnold go down the play before, and then when he saw him make that throw on the very next play, he kind of exhaled. So it ended up, being like it was the big storyline going into that game. And then, it kind of quickly became an afterthought.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had the same thoughts, B. And then he dropped that dime over there to Cooper, and I'm like, all right, man, let's get it. Zach Charbonnet goes down. That's a horrible news, man. I feel bad for him. He's been a big part in the change of this identity for the Hawks, right? A run-first type of team, physical type of runner. K9's going to get the bulk of the carries. Who do you think will be the number 2, and how many carries would you think that running back gets?
Yeah, that's I'm interested to see what they do there because they got some options between Velus Jones Jr. and Cam Akers, and then they've also got George Holani, who's on IR and who was eligible to come back, and it sounds like he's healthy enough to come back. It's just a matter of whether they need him or whether they can find a spot for him. So. We'll see if they start George Holani's practice window this week. But my guess would be Velus Jones Jr. just because, he was the guy last week and, he has been playing quite a bit on special teams. Now, when you're the number 2 running back, maybe you're not playing as much on special teams. So we'll see what that looks like. But, I don't have a great answer for you in terms of what who is going to be the number 2. But I will say that I think part of the reason why Ken Walker III has been able to stay as healthy as he has this year is because, they've really limited his, the amount of touches. Like he has not carried the ball more than 19 times in any of the 18 games this season, because it's really been a 2-headed rushing attack. So, remember going into the season, how much of a question it was about Ken Walker's durability and whether he can stay healthy. And he's really done that. Like he's hardly even appeared on the injury reports, but I think a big part of that is because they're not overworking him. So whichever one of those other running backs becomes the number 2, my guess is they would probably want to keep Walker's workload roughly the same. That said, there's 2 more games left, so maybe they do give him a little bit more work and just hope that he can hold up for 2 more games.
Do you see Clint Kubiak sticking with much of the same approach, given Walker hasn't surpassed 19 carries in a game? Because the Seahawks, as you know, Brady, I think averaged the 2nd most or 3rd most carries of any team in the regular season. Or do you see them turning more to an injured Sam?
Yeah, then Darnold's injury, I think, is probably a factor there. I mean, I don't know what his numbers would have looked like if that was kind of a normal game where it's not a blowout, and you can't just salt away the game starting with the opening kickoff of the second half, and if you don't pull him with 9 minutes left. So I think that look, only really Sam and them know how much that injury is affecting him, but I would imagine that if there was ever a time to lean on your run game to take pressure off your quarterback, it's while the quarterback is dealing with an oblique injury. Now, even though, like we talked about from the start, he looked normal, I still think you would want to lean on your run game. So, it's going to be interesting because Charbonnet, one of the reasons why he's so valuable to this team is he's so good in short yardage and third down situations. Like, he's an excellent pass protector. We know how hard he runs and how good he is at just sticking his nose in there and picking up a yard or two. So I think they are fortunate that, they have the tush-push play to turn to in some of those short yardage situations. Like A.J. Barner has been very good at getting a yard or two when they need it. They haven't gone to it as much near the goal line because they haven't really had to because Charbonnet has been so good at that. So I do wonder if, maybe that becomes more of their go-to play near the goal line because they no longer have Charbonnet to hand the ball off to.
How aggressive do you think Mike Macdonald is going to be defensively with the Rams? The last time we saw the Rams, there was no Devontae Adams out there. Obviously, Puka Nacua is their guy. They're great against the run. Do you see any tweaks to the game plan, or do you feel like they're so confident and secure with who they are, they're just going to come out and do their thing?
Yeah, I don't have a great answer for you, but I will say this, that really the two bad games that Seattle has played defensively this season, there was one thing in common with both of those, and Mike Macdonald, admitted to it afterwards. He said, the same thing after that Week 5 Bucs game. He said after that Week 16 Rams game, which was that he gave his defense too much in terms of putting too many things on their plate game plan wise, and I think that's always a balance that a defensive coach is going to have to strike. Where you want to have as much in the game plan to be able to give your guys answers schematically, but you also don't want to have too much to where their brains are overloaded and they can't really play fast because they're thinking. And so, and he said that was especially the case, on a short week. Like, he just gave them too much to handle on a short week. And the other big factor in that Rams game a few weeks ago was that by the end of that game, their secondary was kind of decimated. They had guys dropping left and right in that game. And, but even when they had their guys healthy, they said that there was just some communication issues that led to some of those explosive passing plays. And I think logically you could connect the dots between what McDonald said afterwards, which was that he just kind of gave those guys too much to handle on a short week. And so I don't think that's going to be a factor in this one. And also, neither will the injuries, because unless there's another weird midweek injury that pops up, their secondary is going to be a lot healthier than it was a few weeks ago.
Do you have a kind of a primary question about the Rams coming into this one? For one, I know that we've seen him in 2 playoff games, but I'm curious about, is Matthew Stafford perfectly healthy with that finger? Is it going to affect him in any way, or is it not an issue? What do you find yourself wondering about LA heading into this game?
My big question, Stacy, is how much of an advantage it will be for the Seahawks to be the well-rested team versus, the Rams have now made back-to-back long trips, played on Sunday night and went to overtime, whereas the Seahawks, played at home after a bye, and it was such a blowout that they were able to pull their starters, what was it, midway through the fourth quarter. So, if this was like a Week 5 game, it's probably not as big of a deal, but this is, whatever it is, Week 20, and also if this was against the 49ers, and they were dealing with the situation the Rams are now, I would say that's probably not a big deal because the Seahawks are just so much better than the 49ers. But look at the 2 meetings that the Seahawks have had against LA. They've been decided by a grand total of 3 points. So these teams are so evenly matched, and this game seems like such a coin flip that I do think that the rest advantage that the Seahawks have over them could really come into play.
If Mike Macdonald were to pull this thing off and say the defense does what we're used to seeing, playing solid football, turning the rock over, what does that do for just the hierarchy of the coaches in this division? Who I think, I'm sure you think the same thing, is the best division and have the best coaches over here. Just what does that do for the profile of Mike Macdonald?
Boy, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you got to be talking about one of the best coaches in the NFL at this point. And I'm sure that Kyle Shanahan is probably feeling that right now, as tough as it would be for him to admit it. It really looks like Mike Macdonald has Kyle Shanahan's number when you look at, what he's done to him this season especially, but even going back to his final season, Macdonald's final season as Baltimore's coordinator. Remember how good that 49ers team was, and remember how much the Ravens shut them down on Christmas night, I believe it was. So, Kyle Shanahan, I'm sure, is in no hurry to face Mike Macdonald again. And I think Macdonald would tell you that, McVay is the tougher of those two guys to go against. And we've seen that. It's funny that in the two meetings, like the head coach has sort of lost the individual battle, but his team has won the war, right? Like in that week 11 game at SoFi Stadium, Mike Macdonald's defense was pretty good in that game, and they made Matthew Stafford look pretty normal. And it was not a game where Matthew Stafford killed them, but obviously the Rams won it. And then in that week 16 game, Stafford and the Rams threw the ball all over the field in Seattle, and Macdonald's team still won it. So it's kind of been interesting how those two games have gone, but I think Macdonald will tell you that McVay is the much tougher offensive mind in the division to go against.
Do you remember what Macdonald said after that Week 16 game about kind of what happened with his defense?
Yeah, that was part of it, was that, he gave them too much. He kind of overloaded them on a short week. And, look, I don't think that was just a head coach kind of reflexively, putting the blame on himself. I think that was an honest, review of what happened. And it makes sense when you consider what the players said about how, there was just some flat out communication errors that led to some of the, Puka Nacua running wide open in the secondary. The other part of that, of course, is that Puka Nacua is an excellent receiver, and Matthew Stafford is, playing at an MVP level. And so, but that's why, I look, and Mike Macdonald has said he's prone to overthinking. So, maybe that was part of it too. But yeah, I think that was a factor in there, is that guys, just had too much on their plates mentally on a short week.
That's funny you say that, B, because right before you came on, I'm looking at film of Puka Nacua, and there was that crossing route that put him up 36-30, I want to say. And you could tell the safeties just didn't pass the route off correctly, and there was a lot of stuff going on. So perfect timing when it comes to that analysis, sir. But this matchup, man, it's Stacy said, according to DVOA, it's the explain it to him, Stacy.
Oh, okay. So from Aaron Schatz, by DVOA, the NFC Championship game this weekend is essentially the best NFL matchup of the last 47 years.
Yeah, so, and that made me more nervous, B. It didn't make me feel better about this situation. It made me more nervous, other than Sam Darnold, because that's the direction that most people are going to go when it comes to winning or losing this game. What must the Seahawks do to make sure they're good to go?
To me, one of the other kind of obvious potential swing factors in this game, in addition to what I talked about with the rest advantage, is special teams. And, the Rams, one of these teams has returned, or scored 5 touchdowns, whatever it is, on special teams this year, including 3, return touchdowns, 4 return touchdowns, 3 by Rashid Shaheed, and another team fired its special teams coordinator late in the season. So I think that kind of tells you how much of an advantage the Seahawks might have in that aspect of the game. And, look, we've seen, the Rashid Shaheed touchdown on Saturday. They would have won the game without that. But seen Rashid Shaheed, win games for them. I mean, they don't win that game in Week 16. And, we're not talking about the Seahawks hosting the NFC Championship game if Rashid Shaheed doesn't return that punt for a touchdown to really kickstart that rally. And so, that is one potential swing factor here. I know that's all incorporated in the DVOA rankings, but I think that is one area where the Seahawks have a big advantage over LA.
He is ESPN's Brady Henderson, kind enough to join us to help us preview the NFC title game. Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, B.
You got it. Thanks for having me. See ya.
See ya. Your Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game, and we've got 2 tickets to get you in the building on Sunday. Just open the Seattle Sports app and then tap the Win tab to find out how to enter. If you don't have the app, no problem. Just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we will send you a download link. Enter every day to increase your chances. This contest runs through Wednesday, January 21st. That's tomorrow. So enter now, only on the Seattle Sports app. Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. You have picked up on a couple tendencies from the Rams defense. Tell us about them.
This is more for the fans, not the coaches. Okay, I'm sure the
Okay.
coaches have this under control. All right,
I think they've been watching film.
I'm sure they do. But on first down, right, especially when you come out in 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, you're going to see a lot of cover 6 from the Rams. What cover 6 is you run cover 2 to the boundary. So you watch that corner who's over the furthest receiver. He has that flat area. Unless there's nothing threatening his area, he's going to stay about 5 to 8 yards off the ball and try to take care of the flat. He has safety help over the top. You look up to the field. That's the part of the football field that's away from the hash. So if the widest part of the football field when the ball's on the hash, right? That's the field. On that side, you're going to see a cover 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, right? So cover 4 is that corner's going to have his butt to the sideline. He's getting deep. He's getting deep. Unless nothing threatens him deep, he'll stay short, but he's going to get deep, and then that inside backer is going to cover the flat right there. That's one tendency. On first down, they love that against 11 personnel. So how do you combat that? I just like slants all day to that field side. Field side slants all day to the boundary side where the field is the tightest. I'm running smash concepts all day. All right, so smash is like a corner, then underneath type stuff. Second and like +7, you're going to see a lot of cover 3. Cover 3 is 1 high safety, 2 corners. Everyone has deep. They'll start in a cover 2 look, right, with 2 high safeties. As soon as that ball is snapped, that off safety is going to fly downhill. What I see with that is JSN running a shallow, have him fly downhill. You put Rashid on a slant or a seam, and you're good to go strike up the band. Let's get it. So first down, look for cover 6. Second down, look for cover 3. And I'm sure they'll mix it up. Mm-hmm. But lots of the film that I've seen, that's what they're going to lean on.
Second down. What is Joe Burrow confirmed?
No one knows what a catch is.
Yeah.
No one knows.
No one.
Joe Burrow said, look, the referees got it right. And in 2 situations, they got it right. Well, one of them were right. He wouldn't confirm which one was right, though. It's like, Joe, which one are you talking about? Which one do you think was a catch? I went back and I looked at the rules, right? And with that Buffalo Bills catch, I was on the side that was a catch, he was down. After reading the rules, it says you must survive the ground, which goes against everything I think a catch is in that situation, because you caught the football, you go down, and you are touched. So you're saying he can touch him and still strip it from him because he hasn't survived the ground. I get not surviving the ground. Then why is he able to intercept that football to take it away from me? It just confuses me.
Right. Then why is it not
more.
incomplete?
Why is it not incomplete?
Right.
It's crazy to me. And then there's the one with Devontae Adams. It's just so confusing, man. Even Joe's calling people out and saying, we are dumb. We don't know what's going on. But Joseph, you did not tell me which one you thought was a catch. So Joe, if you're listening, I need you to text me, DM me, and let me know which one of those did you feel was a catch and which wasn't a catch. But it just confirms no one knows what the heck is going on with this rule. No one knows. It's been like 15 years, and I still don't know what a catch is. I just know I got to catch it, get out of bounds, or get down, and not let anybody touch me.
I'm like, okay, was this like performance art? Saying they're not difficult calls. They got them both right. Like acting like, why is anyone confused? What do you mean, why is anyone confused? These are actually incredibly close calls. This is performance art. I'm convinced. I'm absolutely convinced. Third down. Brock had a special request.
Yeah, he did. So I walked into the control room as Brock and Salk were signing off, and he was like, hey, Bump, can you break down the difference between Puka Nacua and JSN? And I said, sure, why not? I need a third down. Let's get it. So watching film, Puka is a violent player. He runs with violence. He beats up the ground with his stride, and he doesn't need great separation to make plays. Has great ball skills. And now look at JSN, more of a smooth type receiver, right? Sharper route runner than Puka Nacua. Has the ability to track the football the same way Puka does, but isn't as physical because he has that smaller frame. So I was trying to figure out how can I describe these two. And if you watch NASCAR, right? I watch it sometimes. I'm not like an enthusiast or anything like that, but I watch NASCAR. When you start the race in NASCAR, those cars look pretty, man. They're pretty. They're shiny. Gentlemen, start your engines. You're in North Carolina, about 100,000 people watching this whole thing. By the end of that race, those cars are beat up, right? The fenders are all jacked up. They're smoky. The drivers hop out of their cars. They got just dirt all over them. That's Puka Nacua. He's violent, he's dirty, he's gritty, he's gonna go get it. JSN, He's a Formula One car, right? It's more prestigious. It's more smooth. Those cars don't rub. They don't touch when they race, right? You touch, boom, you're going to be in trouble there. That is who JSN is. He's the smoother type of receiver. He understands how to create space with his body without really using his body, more to spatial awareness, to where Puka Nacua is a receiver that's going to run through you. He's going to be violent. JSN, just a more smooth receiver. They both have exceptional ball skills. They both are number one receivers on their team. They both play in schemes that allows them to cross the middle and get open. But when it's all said and done, Puka Nacua's NASCAR, JSN Formula One.
I like it. 4th down. We just had ESPN's Brady Henderson join us to start the hour. Anything stand out from that conversation?
He talked about the rest factor. Rams are going to get beat up. We talked about this earlier today, right? They've been through they played a game and a quarter, 2 games and a quarter already to get to this point. I think that has to be a factor, especially with the health of Matthew Stafford. How's that finger doing? We shall see. He said that he thinks the touches for K9 will remain the same when it comes to his workload this game. I don't think so. And I hope that he is wrong with that, because I want K9 to touch the ball about 25 times now. That Charbonnet's not going to be in. He also said, look, you got a few running backs you can choose from. You got Velas, you got Cam, you got George Holani as well. He said McVay is the tougher opponent when it comes to Mike McDonald, and I agree 100%. McVay has already done some things that Shanahan has not been able to do, gotten to the Super Bowl and won that thing. He also said that he felt like Mike McDonald gave his team too much on that short week, which I could agree, just by the mistakes that they were making. There were mistakes that they made during that game that we haven't seen all year. Communication was jacked up, passing routes and all that stuff, they were bad. And then special teams, you and I talked about this too. Special teams might be the factor. Can Jason Myers be perfect? Can Rashid hit a couple? If he takes another one to the house, God bless you. But just give me a big return or two. Can we block a field goal? Imam Moore has a blocked field goal already. So there's some factors, man. This game is going to be so tight, in my opinion. I felt really good about the Niners. I wasn't even sweating the Niners for real, right? I respect them, but I wasn't sweating them. But the Rams, I'm sweating a little bit because I know that they're capable of making this thing interesting.
Those were exactly the ones that I was thinking of from Brady. In particular, the K9, kind of like what you do. Because if Sam was perfectly healthy, you'd go, well, look, at the start of the season, for the first 9 weeks, Sam was the most explosive passer in the game, and JSN was leading all receivers. So that's still a weapon you have. But the oblique and it's just in the back of your mind going, okay, but you don't really have the fallback kind of thing of like, oh, just open up the pass game.
Right.
No big deal. Like, Ken kind of has to do more than what he's been asked to do. And he's very talented. But I think I was thinking of Brady saying, like, hey, part of the reason he's been able to avoid injury is he's not, the bell cow. He's not more than, 19 carries in a game, Brady said. So
give me 50 carries in 2 games. He can handle it. He's at 221 carries right now. His rookie season, he had the most at like 228 or something like that.
Okay.
So he's right around where he would normally be.
Seahawks fans, you're going to be so mad at Bill Simmons in a couple minutes. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Tons of stuff happening this January, and believe me, whatever you're into, you can have an absolute blast doing it at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Take, for example, the playoff games. Watch every game at Porter's Bay Sports Bar and book. You can cheer loud with the 12s and enjoy a steak dinner at their steakhouse on property. You can stay the night in one of their deluxe rooms and wake up feeling like a winner. If dry January is your kick, enjoy a relaxing stay at the spa and get a good night's rest. If you want to test your luck, winter warm-up drawings every Friday for a chance at 5 Gs and polar payouts every Saturday for a grand prize of 10 Gs. Claim your free daily entry at any promo kiosk on property. That's all you have to do to enter. Silver Reef Casino Resort is the spot. Check it out if you haven't. If you've been, you already know what you are missing. Stay tuned to have events for the big game and the Garth Guys, a tribute band for Garth Brooks, coming soon. Drive up I-5, exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. Trustandwill.com/GAME.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Bill Simmons was discussing best possible matchups for Super Bowl 60 in a recent edition of his podcast. A problem, though. He seems to have forgotten a tiny detail, a somewhat recent bit of football history about the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, New England Rams, which was a lousy Super Bowl. Seattle, New England, one of the best.
Maybe Seattle,
ever.
New England's the best one because Seattle's never won a Super Bowl.
You can't go wrong
And
there.
they would be getting their revenge on that.
Well, wait a minute. There's actually a very famous lopsided Super Bowl victory wherein that year's best defense, the best scoring defense, limiting opponents to 14 points, went against an offense averaging 36 points, headlined by Peyton Manning. This is all people talked about. This was massive. This is a huge Super Bowl. It's famous. Yeah, it was a boring watch for non-Seahawks fans, but it's famous for that.
Yeah, I don't understand
Bill,
what's going on.
What?
What's
Maybe
going on there?
as a New Englander, Curtis, he's just
Right.
focused on the Patriots.
Yeah, if the Patriots
Bill
aren't there, he
remembers
doesn't
is the
care.
Patriots beating the Seahawks in Super
Mhm.
Bowl 49. Never mind that one of the conversations in Super Bowl 49 was whether the Seahawks would repeat as champions. What are we doing?
That's what biases do sometimes. I'm sure I've fallen victim to that a time or two, but this one seems a bit extreme, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is
just blocked it completely out of memory.
It's not
It's
unforgivable.
like every drop I've ever had. I've never had one.
Yeah.
Blocked it out.
I think you could be forgiven for forgetting let's say a head coach started just after a championship and you're like, "Oh, this guy oversaw that," or I don't know, you get the year wrong on when a team won. If you were like, "Oh, the Ravens in 2010?" Oh, no, 2012
or it's like forgetting that the Dolphins have
Sure.
ever won a Super Bowl.
Right.
When it's like they have
forever and ever and ever.
It was 72,
Fine, but this was 2013,
Yeah, this
which, if you're Gen Z, was forever ago. But if you're a grown man like Bill Simmons,
Yeah.
you watched and covered that Super Bowl. Someone posted screenshots, I sent them to you guys, of his picks for every single round of the Super Bowl. For Seattle as the number 1 seed, divisional conference championship, and then the Super Bowl. And he picked the Seahawks to lose in every single round. You wrote about this. You wrote whole paragraphs predicting the winners and losers of these rounds of the 2013 playoffs.
They've never won the Super Bowl, according to him.
William, I'm thinking that if the Seahawks get their first Super Bowl win this year, it's going to be crazy. The streets are going to be crazy.
Oh, man. First
Can you
time
imagine?
putting a parade on? What's the city going to do? Are they ready for this?
I'm not ready for seeing
Does
the
anybody
first...
have experience in this town?
No.
Going to a Super Bowl parade.
I'm just the thought of seeing Seattle finally get it done
God.
after all this time
Riveting.
is
He probably thinks
incredible.
this is the best defense Seattle's ever had, too.
I think Bill's one of those people. He's brilliant at what he does, and I want to make sure to give him
poking
credit.
fun.
He's
We're just
been
poking
around.
fun.
He's rich from being good at this. But Bill, I would say 80% of sports media is not just an East Coaster, but from New England. And I think that their world revolves around Boston sports, and then everything else is secondary. And they know a ton about things outside of Boston, but sometimes there's some slip-ups there.
William.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, Bill. Come on. Indiana pulled off one of the greatest rags to riches stories in sports history last night, so everyone agrees it's a cool story, right? Right?
Yeah.
No, wrong, because Paul Feinbaum wants everyone to brush it off and move on already.
If and when Indiana pulls this off on Monday night, it would be the greatest underdog story in the history of college football.
Yeah, and I'm searching to go back in time. BYU won it in, I believe, '84, but remember, it wasn't a national championship game. They won it in, I think, the Holiday Bowl 4 or 5 days before the other bowl games happened. And since then, there's been unusual winners, but nothing quite like this. And it will be a cute story, but it will get some attention on Tuesday morning, Matt, but it really won't get that much because it's all about what's next in the NFC and the AFC championship games.
Now, Paul, a cute story? They went 16-0.
16-0, Paul.
They had 2 wins.
2 wins,
in
Paul.
2021.
2021, Paul. Hey,
Paul.
here's my man. Look, he's just this is what he's paid to do. And at this point, I think he leans into this and just says, you know what? I get money because people hate me out of the SEC.
To prop up the
and
SEC.
they are going to just talk about me. So as long as I'm relevant, it's going to make sense. No, this is one of the best stories I've seen since I've been watching football, college football in 99, 2000. A team that was the worst program in the history of college football, D1 football, won a championship and did it in 2 years. After Cignetti comes on his press conference and calls a shot, I win. Google me. I lose 2 games 1 year. I make it to the playoffs, though. Then I win a national championship with a quarterback that no one wanted from Cal. Got him over there. Doing this with a whole bunch of James Madison kids. Come on, Paul, man. It's good respect when respect is due. Bama didn't win, Paul.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul.
Ole Miss could have got almost Ole
done.
Miss. And even if Ole Miss would have won, he still would have been salty because it wasn't Bama.
Sure, but even then, if Bama would have had they couldn't have had the exact same story. Part of what makes this story special is Indiana's history. But let's say that Bama went 16-0. He'd be like, wow, we haven't seen this in so long. This is unbelievable. You've never seen, this is, we're going to be talking about it all day Tuesday. It's more than a cute story.
I mean, if you kind of squint your eyes, Alabama looks a little bit like Alabama. Same kind of colors.
Yeah. You know, Paul, maybe you
red
could
and
try
white.
that. He's
Yeah.
got to be old enough to have
Hey,
readers
who
at
did
this
Bama
point.
lose to?
They lost
Oh,
to
that would be Indiana.
The
Yeah.
Hoosiers.
Just
That would
They
be the
got
Hoosiers.
blown out
Just
by
checking.
Indiana.
Just checking.
Yeah. Belt to you know what. Next up, former Steeler great James Harrison. Interesting take here. Thinks Mike Tomlin's Hall of Fame resume is severely lacking. Why? Because of how few coaches he developed in his coaching tree during his time at Pittsburgh.
Is Coach T a Hall of Fame coach, in your opinion?
No.
Okay, so now that's actually
No.
crazy. Okay, yeah. So we're
The
just
thing I can't give him a Hall of Fame coach for is because he hasn't made disciples. You're telling me you're a Hall of Fame coach,
Yes.
but no one has followed you. No
no,
one has
yeah, for
went
sure.
down the line with
Yes,
you.
yes.
That can't be the thing. He's the only
Can
coach
be.
that has coached this long and does not have a tree, bro. Guys
That's
are
all- that's all.
emotionally attached
I'm not
to him.
gonna
performing.
say no. I'm not gonna not give him the Hall of Fame nod because he's bad at hiring offensive coordinators. When I talk to
And
Coach
you
T,
think that is a thing that he's bad at doing, or do you think that is a thing that he purposely does to keep position and power?
Oh my God.
No. I don't think he self-sabotages. That's
I'm
crazy.
not saying
I
you
don't-
self-sabotage.
If you're
I'm saying,
if you're hiring other coaches that aren't good enough because you think they're going to take the spotlight out of you,
aha.
That's
Is it
self-sabotage.
enough spotlight? Is it enough spotlight?
I need to know more, James, because this is a bad
What's
take.
wrong with James, man? You play for this man. You're a Steeler. Through and through.
Yeah, Steelers Hall of Famer.
Why wouldn't you advocate for this dude? Mike Tomlin has the 9th most wins in NFL history when it comes to coaches.
But where's his coaching tree?
What are you talking about? This is man. Him
It
and
is-
RC hit me with the 2 worst takes I've heard all year.
Okay, so I actually wanted to wrap. Curtis, were you going to say
Well,
something
it
about
is
this
true
one?
that Mike Tomlin never developed any assistant coach into becoming a future head coach in the NFL.
Sure, but
So
crazy.
When
Yeah,
they
yeah.
sit around and they talk about coaches going to the Hall of Fame, do they really sit there and say, well, who's he developed? Or do they look at
Right, they
wins,
look at
losses,
personal
championships?
accomplishments,
But you're right. But
It is
and
crazy.
Then for him to say, aha, like he doesn't want
Right.
anyone to shine. What do we hear about Mike Tomlin? Like he's all about his players. He's all about his guys. He had a standing ovation when he stepped down from the organization. That is so far off from everything we hear about Mike Tomlin.
I know Brian Flores is a brilliant DC who may very well become a head coach, but who's a successful head coach from Bill Belichick's coaching tree? Bill Belichick, an obvious Hall of Famer, one of the most accomplished NFL coaches we have
Great
ever
point.
seen, led the last dynasty in the league. Oh, I'm sorry. Did Matt Patricia work out in Detroit? No.
Nah.
Did Josh McDaniels work out? No.
Nah.
Did Joe Judge work out with the Giants? No.
Nah.
Brian Flores, not with the Dolphins. Now, Brian Flores may end up being the best of this group, but a lot of them became great coordinators.
You know what
really
you do
smart
after
guys.
that? Drop the mic, Stacy.
I'm just saying,
Drop the
that's
mic.
a horrible thing to lean your hat on and be like, but here's my
Goodness
trump card. Get ready for this. Bam. Coaching tree.
His co-host in that is former Steelers cornerback Joe Hayden, who I thought did a really incredible job to
Amazing
start
job.
off the interview. Well, now that's just crazy.
I want to play it. I want to play it one more time.
is Coach T a Hall of Fame coach, in your opinion?
No.
Okay, so now that's actually
No.
crazy.
That's actually crazy.
He couldn't believe it. He just knew he had a follow-up question ready for when he says, of course. He was like, oh, you just jacked up my
It
whole
caused
approach
him
to
to
this.
pause. Wait, no, okay. Well, that's actually insane. I have to keep going here. Okay, so we heard
Oh,
Bill
man.
Simmons forgetting the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. We heard Paul Feinbaum saying, yeah, Indiana's a cute story, but everyone's going to forget about it by Tuesday. And we heard James Harrison saying Mike Tomlin's Hall of Fame resume is lacking because of how few coaches he's developed. Who had the worst take in the timeline today?
It's a great segment. It might be James Harrison, honestly.
Curtis.
He played for him. Feinbaum, though, boy, this is history we
expect this
saw.
from him,
Yeah, that's
though.
true.
We expect
I
this
think
from him.
I agree. Feinbaum is actually the least offensive to me because it's so on brand. It's like how I feel when my reality TV characters say ridiculous things, and it's like, well, yeah, they're ridiculous. They live in a different world. That's who they are. But James Harrison, that's wild. I think it's James Harrison.
Oh, man.
And then Bill Simmons, I will excuse because I have forgotten. Like, I've messed up on air a million times, and so I'll do a little bit of grace here. But you should know the Seahawks won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Coming up next, well, if the Seahawks are going to get to and win a Super Bowl, they're going to need some help from the running backs, and they're down one. Can K9 handle the workload? Don't go anywhere.
Be there when the Seahawks make history.
Hello.
Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh, my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year. Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com, and let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump, a listener of the show tweeted, can K9 handle a full workload? And you saw that and you were like, you know what? Let me think on this for a minute. Let me go over what I've seen from him over the last several weeks, maybe what the workload we've seen from him in previous seasons, and have an answer to this question. What was the answer you settled on?
The answer was yes, but I thought it was a valid question, though. I thought, yeah, because you haven't seen him get 25-plus carries this year. The most is, 19? Something like that. But then I went and looked at his total numbers for the year, and then I thought to myself, this is why you have that 1-2 combo, because it allows you to kind of save some reps, some wear and tear on K9. He's had his second best season as a pro. His first year, let me pull up real quick. First year, my man went for 1,050 yards on 228 carries, 9 touchdowns. This year, 1,027 yards on 7 less carries for 5 touchdowns. And that's through 17 games. That's the regular season. Now, we add postseason. There's more wear and tear because you're playing more games in the postseason. But I think the way that he looks right now, he looks fresh. He doesn't look like he's hurting much. But I also think it is important to sprinkle in Cam, Velas, George Holani, whoever it is, to spare him, because you don't want him every single down. The only running back I see that's out there almost every single down, and he don't flinch at all, is Derrick Henry, but he's also built different.
Right. I don't know that anyone's going to be able to do what he's done.
No. Derrick Henry, my man got 307 touches. And then, you know what? Big ups to Chris McCaffrey, too, man. He got 311 plus receiving the football. But no, I think because he's not asked to play all the snaps that a Jonathan Taylor has to play, a McCaffrey, a James Cook, D. Henry, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Ashton Genty. All these guys have more touches than him. Etienne, Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams, Breece Hall. It goes on and on. So, no, I think he can handle it, but I think that you will have to monitor it, and I don't want to see him in every single snap.
All right, let's hear from Mike McDonald. This was from his press conference yesterday, first on Walker's season.
Yeah, I think Ken's done a heck of a job. I mean, I think you've seen the results in the past X amount of weeks now of the result of, like, we always use a term, but really, like, stacking all those reps. I thought this is the most decisive he's ran up to this point, and as expected, you just keep getting better and keep finding ways to improve, and especially in the run game, and he's done a great job.
Bump, you've noticed Ken Walker improving in the run game, getting downhill a bit more, or a willingness to be a little patient.
Are you scared to say getting downhill? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Sean Payton's going to bust down this door and be like, oh, what do you know about getting downhill?
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, Sean Payton.
No, he seems to be. It's almost like you're moving fast, but you're not in a rush. Because you understand the timing of everything, like the flow of everything. So that's what I'm seeing with him. And then the ability just to be okay with getting 3 to 5 yards. It's all right. I was watching the game with my son. He's like, Dad, he needs to break one. I go, 4 yards on first down. I go, hey, do the math for me. If the football gods say, look, I'm going to give you 4 yards on every down, I go, will you ever see a 4th down? And no, I go, exactly. So that's why I'm good with just 4 yards, you know? And granted, things that happen, you get negative yards and all that stuff. But if it's 1st down and you're going to give me 4,
run.
I will take it every single day. I think that's what I see with his mind, the way he's playing, is that he's okay with that 4 yards, because he might break a couple of tackles and that 4 turns into 8. It's the patience that he's running the ball with.
McDonald talked about Velus Jones and Cam Akers.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason we brought him here, is just to provide great running back depth. Both are really good players in their own right, and they got a great opportunity in front of them, you know. So you hate it to be under these circumstances, but it is what it is. You know, we got to move forward. So they'll be ready to go.
Also mentioned George Halani still an option.
George is an option. Yeah. We'll see how it goes this week.
Is he physically ready to go?
I think we'll just let it play out this week on how everything goes, but probably hear from that over the next few days.
His final press conference of the week is going to be on Friday. I am positive that he will be asked about Halani if there's been no update since then. So we have Jones, Akers, Halani, if Halani's activated, as some potential options here. But you don't like that split of the 3 of them taking the reps Charbonnet would have gotten. You said, look, give those carries to Walker. It's 2 possible games here, not a full season of being the workhorse.
Yeah, you got 2 of them things. We got to get to this one first, right? It's do or die time. This isn't week 5 when you're trying to be like, all right, well, let's make sure our guys are peaking at the right time and everyone's healthy. Nah, it's time to win ball games right now. A concern that I see from people sometimes too is pass pro.
I was going to ask you about that.
How is he going to help during pass pro?
Yeah.
And I get the concerns. Zach Charbonnet was better at that. When do running backs help in pass pro? When you are blitz, right? Yeah, I believe let me double check this, but the Rams play give me a second, what kind of defense they play? They play a 3-4 type of defense, right? So typically you're going to see it depends how they do it. You can have 2 big linemen and then backers walked up on. It looks like a 4-2 or whatnot, but 3-4 defense, you're going to have maybe 4 linebackers on the second level. The only time really K9 is going to have to be responsible is when they're sending 5 or sending 6, right? So he has to be able to sort that out. You send 6, that qualifies as a blitz. The Rams blitz is second least in the league, 17.7 per game. Let's say there's 70 plays in a game. 12 times, if he's in, he's going to be asked to pick up on the blitz. Charbonnet was better at it, but I think that him going into this game, knowing that he's the guy, they're going to spend a bit more time with him. It is, and it's not like he's bad at it. I see Zach Charbonnet get beat. But, yeah, everything's going to be heightened. Everything's heightened. Every snap, every special teams, every kick, all of that. But I think K9's ready for this, man. He looks healthy to me. He seems sharp and focused. I'm listening to him speak after the game. He's ready for this moment, man. Go ahead and shine. The only jacked up part about this is he's going to get paid this offseason now.
Oh, absolutely.
And are we going to be able to pay him?
Maybe not, but fine. Take a Super Bowl victory in exchange for it, and just hey, you can't afford to keep him because he's going to get paid, but got you there. I really like, a listener texted in the point you made about it just being 2 games. Knock on wood, right? If you're so lucky.
Yeah.
That maybe workload and whether or not this is an adverse situation for Ken Walker's health is absolutely a conversation that matters. Like you said, if it's week 5.
Yeah.
You're just asking Ken to do more than he's been doing for 2 games in an ideal world.
It's time to win, baby.
Yeah.
This is it. No holding back. I heard before we get out of here, I was watching this clip, and it's D Spoon walking through the tunnel.
Oh,
I was like, man, why don't we call the dogs off? Put them on. They sorry, you know what? I love it. That's the mentality.
It's 41-6.
That's
Devin.
the mentality. He said, why we call the dogs off?
Rob Staton joins us next. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign. And so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Friday night, February 6th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, February 6th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com.
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers, who claimed their first national championship with a win over Miami last night. The 27-21 win capped off a perfect 16-0 season for Curt Cignetti's team, one that also saw them get their very first Heisman winner just 4 years after the program went 2-10. The Titans have found their next head coach. 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets head coach Robert Saleh signed a 5-year deal with Tennessee per ESPN.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Seahawks draft log Rob Staton joining us now on the Emerald King Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And Rob, I felt like the Seahawks could absolutely get it done against the 49ers. I did not expect the just absolute drubbing of San Francisco, 41-6 final score. Was that a bigger difference than you expected in this one?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was a nervous wreck in the build-up to that game. And I don't know why, because in Week 18, it was a very comfortable victory, and they could easily have won by more than 13 points to 3. But I'd kind of got it into my head by watching a number of different number one seeds who'd been eliminated in the divisional round and stuff like that, that this was going to be a really difficult game. And just the way that the Niners have been able to bounce back against the Eagles, I thought it was going to be a challenge. And then the opening kickoff is returned for a touchdown. And all of a sudden you realize, no, this is a team that is primed to be as strong as we've kind of all been hoping when we get to the playoffs, that just is capable of dominating a team like the San Francisco 49ers. And it was an amazing night. I just hope that it's going to be something similar this weekend as well against the Rams, a much harder opponent, and that they can get to the Super Bowl now, because it's so close to achieving something really special.
One of the good stories about this one, Rob, is Sam Darnold getting his first playoff win. Now people can complain about something else rather than him not having a playoff victory. What did you see from Sam Darnold?
The perfect performance from him, really. He doesn't have to go out there when the team is playing as well as it is on defense and on special teams and with running the ball. He doesn't need to throw for 350 yards. He doesn't need to take those risks. He just needs to make the plays that are there to be made, whether it's a key third down to Jake Bobo, whether it's some of those throws to Cooper Kupp to move the chains. That's what he needs to do. There wasn't even a sniff of a turnover in this game. And when you actually look at the weekend's playoffs and see what C.J. Stroud did against the New England Patriots, that kind of meltdown that prevented the Texans from having any chance of winning. Josh Allen turned the ball over, Bo Nix turned the ball over, Drake May turned the ball over. Like, all of those different quarterbacks were throwing interceptions or fumbling, and Darnold didn't get anywhere close to that. And given how often people have talked this season, and I've talked about it as well, about the issues with turnovers, and he did lead the NFL in turnovers, I think it's important to stress that on a weekend when quarterback turnovers did cost some teams a chance to progress to the next round, Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford were the only two quarterbacks who did not have a turnover this weekend. So I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
And technically Matthew Stafford had a fumble, right? So, I mean, when you think about it, do you feel like, kind of related to Bump's question, that we keep seeing some goalpost moving for Darnold among national critics?
Yeah, a little bit. I think there's just such a stigma there because of what went wrong in New York.
Yeah.
And then you have sort of the big games like the Rams, the first Rams game, where it's really, as we talked about at the time, if he throws 3 interceptions instead of 4, the Seahawks win that game. Those kind of things are hard to shift. And the only way that Sam Darnold's ever going to get over this now is by winning a Super Bowl. Like, that's it. Like, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, he will always be known as Sam Darnold, Super Bowl winner. He'll be treated completely differently. You will notice in all of the talking head shows before next season, they'll be saying, he will be listed amongst all of the positives with Mike McDonald and the defenders and everything like that. He will be listed as one of the main reasons why the Seahawks can do it again. He will completely change the narrative, but I think he's going to have to do that. And in particular against this Rams team in the NFC Championship game, because they are a team that have given him problems. Yeah. Even when they won in Week 16, they gave him some problems. If he can go and have a really clean game here and get Seattle to the Super Bowl, then we will start to see that sort of international narrative will change.
There's a negative that came from this game. You lose Zach Charbonnet, ACL. He's done for the year. I had a comment yesterday to where I felt bad for Zach Charbonnet. 12 touchdowns, obviously a big part of this run game. But the way K9 is playing as of late, I think this team is going to be okay. What does losing Zach Charbonnet mean, and how do you feel about K9 being the guy now?
Well, I think there's two ways of looking at it. On the one hand, I think it is obviously a blow. Charbonnet has been a big part of what has worked with this running game in the last few weeks, and he has played a part. And even when he hasn't had anywhere close to 100 yards, he's chipped in with like a big conversion or an outside run to move the chains or a touchdown. And losing that is going to be a blow. And of course, you're now only one injury away to Ken Walker from maybe having a little bit of an issue there at running back. But Ken Walker is playing so well. Like it's very, we're going to have an injury at any position, perhaps this was the one to have it, because Walker he had the bit between his teeth last weekend. He kept doing the cone head celebration. Now, I still don't understand where San Francisco's number 2 has come up with that particular barb for Ken Walker, given that he has a very round head, as do I. So I don't really understand that one, but it seemed to sort of really inspire him and get him up for that game. And if he can play with that same level of intensity against the Rams, he could win you the game on Sunday. So he's playing very, very well. I think the other thing now is you kind of wonder about looking ahead, what happens? Does Ken Walker now put himself in a position, if he finishes the season really strongly, with Zach Charbonnet potentially going to be injured for a number of months, does he now position himself strongly in contract talks? Do the Seahawks maybe give greater consideration to trying to keep him around, especially if he, let's just say, ended up being maybe the Super Bowl MVP? Like, this is going to create a number of different talking points, not just this weekend, but hopefully in 2 weeks' time after that.
All right, let's jump to the opponent for this weekend. You mentioned the Rams having given Sam Darnold headaches before. It's why I was hoping it would be the Bears advancing. I know that some people actually prefer that it be the Rams. They feel like they want a statement win, right? Like it means more to them if you beat these two teams in particular before you advance to a Super Bowl. I would just like to see this team advance to a Super Bowl, and I thought the Bears had, while they were a stellar team, just a few more weaknesses. However, I don't necessarily, Rob, feel the same way about this Rams team as I did entering into, say, that Thursday night game. We've since seen this Rams team not only lose to Seattle there and kind of fall apart in the fourth quarter, but lose to the Falcons, allow 30-plus points from the Panthers, nearly lose to the Bears. What have you seen from the Rams over the last month or so? And what kind of Rams team is entering into this game?
I think there's a couple of ways of looking at this. And I was with you. Like, I'm a big believer in the path of least resistance. And I think playing the 16th best team per DVOA next week was better than playing the number 2 team per DVOA. So I was kind of hoping the Bears would get through. The Rams, I just wonder a little bit. They lost to Carolina and then came to Seattle and did what they did. So I think they've shown that they can play badly on the road at a team that is not considered one of the top teams in the NFL, and then they can bounce back. And I do think, given the conditions, the situation, Soldier Field was electric last weekend. I think any kind of win was a fantastic win for the Rams against the Chicago Bears, and they got the job done. So I actually look at this, I'm not sort of really taking much comfort from the fact that they struggled a little bit to beat the Panthers and only just beat the Bears. I actually think it's showing a team that's quite hardened. And look, they nearly had 600 yards in the last game. Puka Nakua's got 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns against Seattle this season. They are a real threat, and Matthew Stafford's going to be a major challenge for this team. I just think that for whatever reason, maybe it's just the moment and sort of created that belief. Ever since week 16, the Seahawks seem like a different beast. Like, even when they've started slowly, they've been able to dominate in second halves. I've just written about this, that I really appreciate the way that Mike McDonald is looking at these games and saying we let them declare themselves and then we act accordingly. We adjust to our opponents. We play our game a certain way based on what the game is telling us it is. Whereas you've got some other coaches there going, no, I'm a fourth down, go for it all the time, coach, and I'm going to do that whatever the situation, whether the score is 20-0 or 6-6. This is how we are going to play. And I think him and his sort of management of games, combined with this loaded roster and the ability to win in different facets, is a great thing for the Seahawks. And the other thing we've got to think here is you've got strength going up against strength. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay and that offense and Puka Nacua against Seattle's defense is the strength versus strength. But then you look at the other units, Seattle's offense against the Rams defense that's not playing as well as it did at the start of the season could be advantage Seattle. And special teams definitely is an advantage for Seattle in this game. So they're at home. Typically, if you get to the NFC Championship game as the number 1 seed, more often than not, history will tell you get to the Super Bowl. I think it is going to be a case of limiting the turnovers, outlasting the Rams. I think it's going to be a close game, but the Seahawks should have enough to get the job done. I can't believe I'm saying that, to get back to the Super Bowl.
Well, that was going to be our question. You said the Seahawks have been able to play the type of game that's necessary for this team to win, right? And you said it's going to be a close game. So you're thinking 35-34? You're thinking 14-13? High or low scoring game?
I mean, it could be either of those things. I think it's probably going to be something like 23-20 or something like that. That's kind of the game I think it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to whether you can limit mistakes. I just think if you can play the percentages and not turn the ball over, that you will have an opportunity to win this contest. I think the defense will make enough plays on the day. You aren't going to completely shut down McVay and Stafford in the way that you've shut down Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy in the last 2 weeks. They're going to score some points. They're going to have some drives. You've just got to accept that. But I think Seattle they know who they are. They know what they want to be. They know that if they can get it into the third and fourth quarter, they're going to have a chance. They've had a bit more rest than the Rams had. They've not had to go on the road twice to go to this game. They've got an extra day's rest now this week, having played on Saturday versus Sunday. And then you've got the Rams having to travel back from Chicago, which you've not had to do, which all of these things do play a part for me. And the last time Seattle was in an NFC Championship game, you could see what happens when you turn the ball over all of the time. And they should have lost that game to the Packers because of all of the different turnovers. I think if they avoid that this time, they will be too strong. And it might not be pretty, but it doesn't have to be. You've just got to win this game. So yes, the Rams will have some success, but I hope the Seahawks are going to have just enough, and that we're going to have a fortnight after that to look ahead to the Super Bowl. I really want that to happen, and I think it will.
One thing that I was thinking about a ton on that Rashid Shaheed return was just in general about the impact that personnel decisions have had over the last couple of years. Rob, there was a long while, multiple drafts in, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, where we were talking about John Schneider just missing, or maybe the combination of John and Pete trying too hard to replicate something that they couldn't quite do successfully rather than evolve in different ways. And John Schneider has appeared on our airwaves talking with Wyman and Bob about things that he's changed about his approach, which was really enlightening. But I just looked at that, and then, whether you have Ernest Jones with a big play or Leonard Williams with a big play, and just thought, oh my God, all of these guys, midseason trade acquisitions. We're talking about free agent signings with DeMarcus Lawrence. And what have you just come to settle on when it comes to John, the job that he's done here?
Well, I think we all agree that he should be Executive of the Year. And it shouldn't even be a conversation. There's nobody close. He's had an unbelievable year. I think there was after the Russell Wilson trade, it seemed to me that they doubled down on, we're going to draft certain characters. We're not going to make mistakes like we did with Malik McDowell. We are going to go and bring people and individuals into this group who we can rely on, that are going to produce a certain kind of intensity and love for the game. And at the time, it wasn't really talked about that much. I think it's a huge catalyst to everything you see now. Like, this team is really connected. There's been no drama from training camp throughout the season. There's barely been a storyline out of Seattle that you could even constitute as sort of averagely negative. Like, it's just been, everybody's bought into this whole thing. And it is because of the type of person they've gone and drafted and then ultimately gone and signed. Like the DeMarcus Lawrence signature, I think when people saw that on Twitter or heard the news or whatever it was when they found out that had happened, their reaction probably wasn't one of jumping for joy and thinking this is going to change the season. Yet that's exactly what this team needed, that extra bit of experience, that extra bit of physicality and intensity on the defensive line. I genuinely believe if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, that DeMarcus Lawrence should be considered like one of the best all-time free agent signings for this franchise. And certainly this season, I think it is the best signing that any team has made. And Leonard Williams, everything has just worked. Ernest Jones, as you've mentioned there, Julian Love, everybody kind of fits in. Cooper Kupp. Let's just keep going through all of these lists of players that have brought in and have just created this mentality and so much balance as well. And the amazing thing is you actually look, someone posted this today. If you look at the cap space that the four remaining teams in the playoffs have got next season, Seattle have got the most. And yes, they're going to have to pay some players coming forward, which is going to reduce that cap space. But they haven't just gone out and thrown loads of money at this. They've built through the draft. They knew exactly the kind of personalities they wanted to bring in, and they've added real talent as well. And they have built the best roster that is remaining in the NFL playoffs. Now all that's left to do is go and prove that by winning the Super Bowl.
All right. He is Rob Staton of Seahawks Draft Blog, kind enough to join us to preview, and I can't believe we're here, but it's good news, the NFC Championship game. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra,
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Titans are hiring former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be their next head coach. What's the real headline?
They saw those 41 points San Francisco allowed on Saturday and said, yep, that's our guy.
Set the show.
Hire him.
Hey.
Get him here now. Send the private jet.
You know what they said? They said, we get it.
Yeah.
No Bosa, no Fred.
They said, we're not mad at you, Rob.
You know what? We understand what you're going through over there. Man, he was 20-36 over there with the Jets. 2 7-10 seasons. A 10-3 start before he got let go there. But I feel like that all wasn't his fault, right?
Yeah.
The Jets, when's the last time they produced a winning team, a winning coach? It's been a while. But I think Saleh's good, man. I think he has another opportunity. Now, if he doesn't get this one right, then he'll just be a coordinator for a while.
It is tough. I mean, the Titans, I don't think, are as dreadful as the Jets. But there are certain organizations when they're bad for a really long time, you're like, look, this is a top-down problem. Yeah. This isn't just a culture in the locker room and front office problem. This is like a culture with the team problem, and that's the Jets. I asked Curtis earlier, like, hey, who's the best coach the Jets have ever had? And I think said, like, Rex Ryan, maybe?
Rex Ryan or Bill Parcells.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't be mad at Robert Saleh for failing there. I mean, Pete Carroll failed there, ended up winning a Super Bowl, obviously, with Seattle. Don't tell Bill Simmons. I think that it'd be better if it's a surprise to him. I want him to, should the Seahawks advance to Super Bowl 60, be like, good for Seattle, man.
Yeah.
First Super Bowl. Can't believe it's happening.
Magical.
Next up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, the Steelers are interviewing Mike McCarthy for their head coaching vacancy. What's the real headline?
After years of falling short in the playoffs, the right guy for the job is definitely someone known for that.
Super Bowl in 2010, 15 years.
Long time.
Then he went to Dallas in 2020. Coordinator. Was he coordinator or head coach? Head coach. 6-10, then ripped off 3 12-5 seasons, and in 2024, 7-10. Had to let my guy go. But listen, he knows what winning looks like when there's structure. And I think that's what people lean on in these head coaches. Like, he's done this before. Mm-hmm. He has structure. And then they've been through the interview process plenty of times before. So you know how to woo these people and to make them think that you're the guy. Mm-hmm. Look, Mike McCarthy, he knows offense. I'm sure he's a good coach. Good luck to him over there if he gets a job.
Do you guys think this was not a Mike McCarthy team, but I was thinking of Dallas's windows that they've had since their last Super Bowl win, just since the early 90s, like thinking of like what are the best windows they had to actually win a championship. And that stretch of like Dak playing out of his mind, the defense being a top 5 unit, the offense being a top 5 unit, going 12 wins and then not doing it was one of them. But that 2004 Dallas team, the Dez caught that game where I think Green Bay advanced, right? Do you think that if 2014, yeah. Do you think that if that 2014 Dallas team were to come to Seattle, that they could have beaten the Seahawks?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
They were a good team, but I don't think they were good enough to beat that Seahawks team.
That's another little window, though, where it's like, well, maybe that version of Dallas's team ends up advancing. They were 12-4.
I mean, they were 12-5 3 years in a row. In 2022, they won 2 games in the playoffs. Won 1 game in the playoffs, lost 1. They've had their chances. This is not destiny for the Cowboys.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Indiana won the 2026 College Football National Championship after beating Miami to cap off a perfect 16-0 season. Here was Fernando Mendoza's helicopter touchdown run from last night.
Mendoza's in the gun. The ball's on the 13-yard line. He's clapping as if they're going to snap it. They do snap it. He takes off running on a design quarterback draw. He has the first down. He spins into the end zone. What a play by Mendoza. And what a call. It was a design run. He bounced off a couple of hits. Looked like he was going to get the first down. He wasn't satisfied. It's another highlight reel play for Mendoza.
What's the real headline?
Your favorite college football team's running out of excuses if Indiana can win a championship.
Man, they've invested. They've built a culture. They got their guy. A lot of things need to happen, but most importantly, they got Mark Cuban, who will fund the operation for as long as he can. And they have the biggest alumni database in the country. Teams are going to jump on this. I didn't know Joe Buck went to U of I or IU. I didn't know the young lady who was hosting First Take now, Shay, went to IU. Like, all of a sudden, everyone's a Hoosier now.
Yeah.
Everyone's a Hoosier. Y'all wasn't proud a week ago or 2 years ago, but now they're jumping out. But good for them, man. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to see just different teams win. 4 years in a row, you got a different championship. Remember when it was Bama, Bama, Clemson, Bama, Georgia, Georgia, Bama?
Boring.
I like this.
I need to figure out a way to get UW's rich grads interested in sports.
Who?
I know Washington has rich alum. I know they've got rich alum.
Steve Ballmer.
I need to get them caring about the football program. I need to get that NIL money flowing into this program.
I don't care.
I'm just saying, UW has graduated a lot of people into not just the medical field, but like artificial intelligence, tech. Like, I know there's some Silicon Valley people. Like, come on.
Hey, they care about
all that money burn a hole in your pocket.
better things in this world, like cancer research.
Yeah, but you could do that on the side.
Save the environment, stuff like that. What is football? That's how they look at football. Football.
Yeah.
How's that helping the world?
It's disappointing.
It is disappointing.
Like, I know that cancer research is important, but so are my dogs.
So are your dogs.
So are my dogs.
Where my dogs at?
Just bring that money back.
Yeah.
Put it into you could put it into UW, and then that generates more. I don't know the economics behind that. I started making an argument I couldn't support. It fell apart pretty quickly.
It's all right.
Yeah,
man.
thanks so much.
Just know it's possible.
It didn't end up working. I had a couple questions in here that I'm going to start collecting. Oh, someone earlier, a couple people actually asked about Robbie Oots. But
what about him?
Well, I think that with Charbonnet down, they're just like, what role would a fullback potentially have in alleviating maybe some pressure on Walker?
I want to say, was it the last game? The game before this Niners rendition or whatever you want to call it, he got the most snaps he got all year. So let me see what he did this game. I feel like I didn't see him in there as much as I did the game before. Let me pull up real quick. Okay, so against San Francisco in week 18 or 17, whatever you want to call it, 18, 21 snaps. They do not post the snap counts for the postseason, unfortunately. But he played more then. I think that's a good option. You want to pack him in, pack it in. I told you what to look for during 4-down territory. I tell you again, when you get in certain personnel groups, let's see cover 6 and cover 3. Why not? They got to get creative, but you got to be yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't put Robbie Oots in there for 50% of the snaps all of a sudden because K9 is out. You keep doing what you've been doing.
Stacey, how much would you donate if everyone gives a little and it leads to big thing? $20 minimum. I mean,
easy 20.
I'll send 20 right now. I could be generous. I could make it 50. However, I think working in sports radio is a bit different than working in tech. You know what I mean? We got different pockets.
Different pockets.
I don't mean to pocket watch, but we're working with some different finances here.
For sure.
But yeah, I'll donate money. Maybe that could be put towards after game snacks. You know what I mean? My money can be useful too. A stat in the Seahawks' favor heading into Sunday next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field. Oh my word! Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, let's start with new Giants coach John Harbaugh. He had his introductory press conference with New York this morning and was asked if he ever considered taking time off before getting back into coaching.
As far as taking some time off, I figured I didn't have enough time to take time off. There's no time for that, so just couldn't wait to get back to work. That was never a question, really. Ingrid and I talked about it. Ingrid's ready to go, too, so we're fired up, and it had to be the right opportunity. This was kind of the obvious one from the beginning. This was the one, like I said, I wanted, and I wanted it because of that very thing you just talked about. We have an opportunity to go win, and I like these players, man. I had a chance to watch tape. I like the way they play. I like their style. I like how physical and how tough they are, and I know they want to be successful and they want to go to work. So absolutely, we can do that, and that's our plan to do that. The plan is to win every game. I mean, one game at a time. You go into every game planning to win that game. That's our expectation. That's what we will be expecting to do that. But we've got to earn the right to expect that by how we go to work and prepare and what kind of a team that we make ourselves into.
We'll see if they win every single game. Curtis and Bump, when's the last time the Giants had double-digit wins in a season?
Danny Dimes, 2021.
No. Curtis.
It had to have been with Eli then. I'm guessing like 2016.
It was with Eli Manning still as the passer in 2016.
Curtis, isn't a quiz, all right? You don't have to get the answer right.
Was that the year Odell and the receivers posed shirtless on the cruise?
I think
in
so.
Miami?
They went 11-5 and lost in the wild card round. Odell Beckham Jr. was their leading receiver. Dang. Yeah, that season you're thinking of was 9-7 and 1. They had a tie. Otherwise, it maybe 10-7, maybe 9-8. Who can say which way the tie goes? I'm very curious to see Harbaugh with New York, what he's able to do. What do you think of their underlying talent, the Giants?
They got sneaky talent over there.
Really?
They got Burns, who's good. Abdul, who's good defensively. You got Scatterbull. You got Neighbors. You got some guys over there. You got Jackson Dart, who I feel like is going to be their guy for at least the next 3 or 4 seasons. There's something to work with in it. If Harbaugh didn't think there was anything to work with, he wouldn't be going over there.
Next up, the Dolphins have hired former Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley to be their next head coach. Hafley's only previous head coaching experience was with Boston College from 2020 to 2023. And you texted us this morning something about these head coaching hires.
Hey, defensive guys getting some love. You know what I think? I think it's because it's the discipline and the structure of a defensive coach is different than offense. Offense, obviously, there's discipline and structure. But, I don't know, this feels different with a defensive
He went 40 of 66 in 2 games. Maya next.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field. Oh, my word! Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Good Dog Auto Glass.
When your windshield breaks, the national brands say their fix is safe, but the quality is light. Instead, trust Good Dog Auto Glass for the best in quality auto glass.
Don't let the insurance company bully you. When you call, we answer the phone. Visit us online and get more bang for your buck.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy
Weekdays 10 to 2.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in less than 15 minutes, we are going to look ahead, turn our attention to Sunday, and begin a preview of Seahawks-Rams. Plus, one analyst thinks Sam Darnold has not, in fact, silenced any doubters. Before we get to that, though, Daniel Jeremiah was on Brock and Salk this morning. A lot to say about the defense. He had some stuff to say about Darnold that I pushed back to that segment coming up at 1. But I want to talk about the defense. First, how the Seahawks defensive line works together.
Well, some of it's just flat out simple. I mean, you could take a picture before the ball snapped, and then you can take another picture from the sideline, a second and a half after the ball snapped, and they're resetting the line of scrimmage. All of them collectively are knocking back their one-on-one matchup. So they're resetting the line of scrimmage, and then they don't stop. So, there's, we talk about, refuse to stay blocked. You're going to get blocked. This is a National Football League. You're going to get blocked, but just refusing to stay blocked. So violently shedding, getting off blocks, and whether that's using your quickness to do that, which you might see on the edges with someone like a Nwosu, or whether you're seeing somebody on the inside with, like Leonard with that violent hump, like Reggie White club move where he's able to just get guys off of him. And then you got Byron Murphy, who does it by just simply leveraging underneath guys and able to knock back, then create separation and get to the football, find the football.
I have a dumb question. I will admit it sounds dumb. What does Daniel Jeremiah mean when he says resetting the line of scrimmage?
It means they're pretty much just pushing guys back.
Oh, okay.
Right? You start there, but we're going to take you 2 or 3 yards backwards. And it's crazy because I knew we were going to talk about this, so I pull up film, the very first play from the line of scrimmage against the Niners this past week. And it's crazy because as he's talking about each player, I'm seeing exactly what he's talking about. He goes, well, you got Byron Murphy who's just out leveraging somebody. Yeah, he's underneath his chin driving that guy back. He goes, well, you got Leo who just clubs you like Reggie. Leo literally just clubs this guy and moves him. And then you got D-Law getting to Brock Purdy and hitting him right as he throws. This defensive line is a dang problem. And I hope they continue to be a problem. I used to look at the Rams defensive line with admiration, be like, man, look at that defensive line. Still a good defensive line. Not hating on the Rams at all. This one is better, though. I just think that what makes me interested with the Rams offensive or defensive line is that they're just young. They're younger. Collectively they're younger. But I didn't think we're going to get this production out of D-Law. Leo's on another level, and Byron Murphy is a all-pro type of interior defensive lineman.
How, as a defense, do they make life a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks? Obviously, the defensive line is able to bring pressure, rushing just 4, and they can stay in nickel quite a bit as a defense. But what are they doing? How are they playing it?
Well, you just described it.
Yeah.
You're sending 4.
You're
dropping 7. You know what I'm saying? When you're able to do that and cause havoc, when you're able to reset the line of scrimmage like Daniel Jeremiah was talking about, when you're able to force the quarterback to move constantly inside the pocket, that means his feet aren't set and on the back end, you're able just to be sticky. It's all connected. Everything is connected with this defense right now, but it starts with the bigs. Like Brock Purdy, this is the first play of the game, and Brock Purdy's on his butt. Very first play of the game. You know what that does? You get back to the huddle. Now Brock's like, here we go. First play of the game, and I'm already on my butt.
Daniel Jeremiah talked about how an opposing offensive line should prepare to face Seattle's defensive front.
To me, if you're trying to block these guys, even though they all have different sizes and different strengths, to me, the key is most times to offensive line, we're trying to create movement. We're trying to move guys off their spot and create movement. With the Seahawks, to me, you're much better off if you come with a mindset of we're just trying to stay attached. We're just trying to stay on him and wall him off so that our running back can try and navigate around him. But you're just not – nobody's been able to really knock these guys around. So I think you do that. What happens now, you end up losing your balance, and now you get nothing. You don't even have a body on these guys. So that would be, to me, would be a better approach. If we're just going to try and mirror and kind of just stay attached and try and wall them off.
I'm going to expand this beyond just how an offensive line approaches them. How do you think the Rams offense, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, everyone, are going to try to – I don't want to say counter or take anything out from the defense, but are going to try to play this defense in particular?
I would max pro, at least early to start, run the football. I keep 2 tight ends in, 13 personnel. Remember, that was a talk of the Rams the first time we played. 13 personnel. We've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
The usage rate is so high. And then for some reason, the second game, they got away from that from a little bit. I'm like, why are they getting away from that? Then they went back to it, and things got interesting again. If I were the Rams, 13 personnel, max pro, and I've got to be real patient. Your best bet with this defensive line is to max pro and get them tired and try to wear them down. Because if you do want to just keep 5 on that line, release your tight end, and release your running back, it is like they're like piranhas back there. They are going to feast, and they're going to be relentless with it, and the rotation is going to be good. We've even seen Peely get in at times, do his thing. Mike Morris get in at times and do his thing. They're deep. So, yeah, Rams, I expect a lot of 13 personnel, max pro.
How's Seattle with 13 personnel? Not exact usage stats, but, do they also run that a lot? I know, obviously, they have a ton of attempts per game.
No, because Arroyo, if Arroyo were healthy throughout the whole season, then probably we see a bit more of that, see more 12 personnel with these dudes.
Okay.
But they're great at 12 personnel as well, running the football. That one K9 touchdown to the north end zone on the left side, A.J. Barner and Eric Sauber just locked their guys up. They're becoming really efficient in their blocking.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see. Now, again, we're kind of shifting already into the conversation we're going to be having at 1, so I don't want to spoil it. But the defense is stellar. It's amazing. I think it's the best defense remaining in the playoffs. And personally, I thought it was the best defense entering the playoffs, even though many people understandably favored Houston. This is not going to be an easy battle. I don't see this defense being able to handle the Rams the way that they did the 49ers.
No, it's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
One reason why the personnel for the Rams is better skill-wise than the 49ers. DeMarcus Robinson for the Niners didn't scare me. Juwan didn't scare me. Pearsall didn't scare me. Puka don't scare me, but I respect the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Devontae respect the heck out of him.
Wait, Puka doesn't scare you?
He don't scare me.
Okay.
You can't never be scared.
See.
But I respect him.
Yeah.
I respect him, though. Extremely respect.
Maybe it's just easier for me to go, Puka's pretty scary.
and their tight ends are better. Parkinson's playing some good football.
Killer.
Yeah, so, no, personnel-wise, they're just better. Got a better quarterback, too.
Yeah.
I would say a better play caller at the point in the season as well.
Well, let's dive into the preview. How the Seahawks can beat the Rams. Plus, one analyst thinks Sam Darnold hasn't silenced doubters at all. That's next.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done.
We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom! That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are interviewing Mike McCarthy for their head coaching vacancy. Meanwhile, the Titans have filled theirs. 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets head coach Robert Saleh signed a 5-year deal with Tennessee. That news initially reported by ESPN.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Puka Nacua, Week 16 against Seattle. 12 of 16, 225, 2 touchdowns. You're not scared.
Nah, man. What?
What do you mean? It's okay.
Ask Spoon if he's scared.
Well, no, I would
Ask
hope the players
Julian
say no.
Love if he's scared. Ask Kobe. Ask Ernest.
225.
I'm with them. All right? I'm on the team. I don't think you know that, but I'm on the team low key. All right? Ain't no way I'm going to walk out on the I'm walking on the field. Ain't no way I'm walking into the press box, okay? And I'm saying another man scares me.
Sure.
Nah.
Okay.
I respect him. He is dangerous. All right? He needs to be watched and game planned for. But if that defensive line do what they're supposed to do, or what they can do, and get after that quarterback, Puka needs that O-line to block. He needs Matthew Stafford to throw it, and he needs to catch it. Can he go off? Yes, he can. I've seen it before with my own eyes. I've watched plenty of film on this young man every single week because I know he is a baller. But I ain't putting that out there. Putting those demons out there.
All right. Well, he's going to be central to how the Seahawks can win Sunday. Here's what Daniel Jeremiah said.
To me, I think it's just handle the first part of the game. Just handle the first part of the game. I think the longer this goes, I like the Seahawks in it. To me, you got to avoid somehow, McVay and Stafford just jumping on you right away. I don't think that Seattle wants to sit there and have to chase points all day long. I think if they can just kind of handle the game early on, I think they're the better team. I think they're the more rounded team, and I think they finish it off. But you just got to avoid what I think is going to be some big haymakers from the Rams early in this game.
Look, in an ideal world, starting early would be the perfect thing to do against any opponent. Bump, why might that be especially important for Seattle against the Rams?
The Hawks, they're capable of chasing. We saw that, right?
Yeah,
they're
against
down
the Rams.
16 points within the fourth quarter. You get a return for a touchdown and things start to roll for you. But that's not a comfortable place to play football, man. You want to be around. You don't want to chase. You want to be right there in the fight, and then hopefully you pull away from it, or you jump out and people are chasing you. That's just the way coaches would prefer to play football on any level. You're not comfortable saying, yeah, spot him 14, and we'll go chase him. No, it just puts that much pressure on you, and it forces your offense and your defense to have to be dang near perfect now when you know that it's impossible to play a perfect game. You get as close as you can, but this is the NFL. It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's important. I love that by Jeremiah because I think that's absolutely right. Who gets a football first? If they put up points, you got to put up points.
Yeah.
If you get a stop, you got to put up points. There has to be an assertion of dominance at some point during this game, whether it be early or late. Preferred early. But I don't expect them, and I expect this to be a close game. The Rams are a good football team.
Well, speaking of being a good football team, what version of the Rams are coming into town this time? Brock and Salk also asked Daniel Jeremiah if this is the same Rams team from earlier in the season when they were overwhelmingly a Super Bowl favorite.
It's hard to extrapolate too much out of that just because the conditions were what they were there. So I think in better weather conditions, I still think their secondary issues could kind of rear up a little bit, and that could be a problem for them. They were just able to get kind of key stops when they needed them, even though Chicago was moving the ball against them pretty well. To me, I think offensive line-wise, I think they'd much rather go forward than backward. And if you can get them, I think if you can get on them early, I do think that they're going to be able to exploit that group a little bit as well in pass protections.
What do you think?
I agree. And I agree because if you're able to get on the Rams early, then they can't lean on their run. And the Hawks' run defense is one of the best in the game anyway. Like, that's your strength. I don't walk into any game thinking that the Hawks aren't going to be able to control the run. When you play a guy like Christian McCaffrey, my hopes were that you contain him, right? He's going to make some plays, but you pretty much controlled him, and if you can do that to Christian McCaffrey, you can do that to Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. I think, was Blake hurt? Anyway, but if they're both back there, you can do that. That's the least of my concerns when it comes to this football team. Where have they been diced up is throwing the football in the air every now and then. A quarterback comes into town and there's a game plan. They figure something out, and you're able to dice them up. The last time Puka went off, we just heard a clip from, I forgot who it was. Anyway, they said that Mike McDonald said that he gave his team too much during a short week, right? And I watched the film.
Brady.
Was it Brady?
Yeah.
I watched the film, and there was some miscommunication. The crossing patterns to me in the secondary are the hardest for the secondary to pick up, especially if you're playing zone, because you're literally running from one side of the field to the other side of the field and hoping that communication or visually your backers are good, your safeties are good, and your backside corner is the one who really gets hit, because say you're like in a cover 3 or 4, he's getting deep if he's getting pushed by that receiver, and then all of a sudden you got a receiver coming from the right side all the way into his zone, and he's not even paying attention for it. That's why a lot of the times you see teams, when you have that crossing route, a safety just jumps down on him, and now he's taking a man all the way across the field.
Is it fair to think that having much more rest and more time to prep would make a difference? I mean, if time and maybe overloading with information on a short week was part of it, like, is it fair to think that the extra preparation Seattle has will keep them from once again giving up 500 plus to the Rams?
I mean, it's an advantage, but listen, you're dealing with Sean McVay, all right? One of the, if not the best coordinator in the game. He has changed the way this game is being played. Mm-hmm. Teams are packing it in and doing a lot of things that he is doing. He's going to have an answer for something. It's about executing. It's about, can Mike McDonald do something to throw a wrench in his plans and get him off script? Once an OC gets off script, it's not like they can't bounce back, but the flow of the game is going to change a little bit. That's what you want. You don't want to feel like everything is connected. Like the jet sweep is working to the zone is working off the play action. Now Puka's running across the middle of the field. You don't want everything feeling like it's just flowing. You got to throw a hiccup in there every now and then to make him get off that script and try to figure out something to get his offense rolling again. If they're just able to move the ball freely, I don't care what defense you're playing or you have out there, it's just going to be tough.
And what's it mean to get Devontae Adams back? He wasn't there last time.
Exactly. That's another one. Red zone target. But listen, man, I like where our corners are right now. Devontae, Hall of Famer, respect. He scares me more in the red zone than anywhere else. All right, and in short yardage situations, because he still has one of the best releases in the game. You need a quick 5 to 10 on a slant or something like that. He's going to be good for it. Yeah, man, this is I mean, when you get to this point of the season, you're supposed to play a team like this. Right? I wish I was in the AFC playing a Staton Denver Broncos right now.
How dare you? Jarrett can get it done, okay?
Hey,
you guys don't believe in Jarrett.
It ain't happening.
No, I'm with you, though. It's like there's a certain point when you have to go, okay, well, how might the Rams be talking about this defense? Yeah. What do you think LA radio's saying about the Seahawks team right now?
I don't know. LA, I'm from there. They're a bit cocky.
Okay, maybe.
I mean, like my boys.
First of all, they're talking about the Lakers.
My boys are hitting me up talking about, we see you on it. Like, they're ready. They're ready. But if they have any sense, they're saying that this is the best defensive line in the league, and they can get after you with 4. What are we going to do? So I'll explain this. Someone asked, what is 13 personnel max pro? That's what I think the Rams are going to do. 13 personnel, it's real simple. Us football guys say it makes it sound like we're geniuses, right? It's really 1 running back, 3 tight ends. That's 13 personnel. So the first number is the running back. The second number are the tight ends. 22 personnel, 2 and 2. So now you go to your bar and hit them with that knowledge and make you sound like you OC.
Be like, all the Rams with 13 personnel,
13 personnel, man, I tell you. Max Pro just means that they're keeping as many people in to help with the rush defense. So if 13 personnel Max Pro means that all 3 of them tight ends are not releasing for a route, they're staying in. You can go 12 personnel Max Pro. That means that both tight ends are staying in. They're not releasing for routes. That's what I think they're going to do, because they're going to want to help. And how do you help with your pass pro? You slide the protection. Do you see that clip of Zabel talking to Leo about they're sliding the protection towards you? Like, why are you making that outside move to shoot the B? So you slide protection. So if I'm Leo, I'm at that 3 tech. So in between the guard and the tackle, I'm in that 3 tech. They're gonna slide the protection that way, so that guard can get on me and that center can help. All right, so you slide in that way. And what Leo was doing is he was trying to get outside of that instead of just getting inside to the A instead of just shooting. Him insiding to the A just brings the center into play, and now they have a good double team on him. So that's what they do. You got to pick a side. Which way you sliding this thing? They're going to slide that way. It's going to help with Leo, and then it help on the edge too as well, because now you get your tackle on one of the edge rushers.
Are you trying to, if you're Sean McVay and you're like, we're going to go 13 personnel, we're going to go max pro, or are you trying to incentivize Seattle to blitz more so that then you get more of those opportunities? Are you trying to get them to stay out of nickel? What are you trying to get them to do? Outside of clearly stop the pass rush, but what are you trying to force their hand with?
I'm trying to run the football, even though it's dang near impossible.
Yeah, you're trying to impose your will.
Yeah, you're trying to run the football. You're trying to, and also when you get in that 13 personnel, you just get more blockers on guys right now if you do want to run the football. And then this is the game I would play. I go 13 personnel. I'm going to show you exactly what everyone says about us throughout the league. 13 personnel. I got to be stubborn with running the football. And as soon as I hit 1 or 2 runs over 5 or 6 yards, now I'm play action, and I'm releasing those tight ends down, 1 or 2 tight ends, and I'm just trying to dink and dunk. Then what happens if you run a zone right? You got 2 tight ends to the right side. You release a tight end. You hit him. Who's going to be looking for him now? These safeties. So now you show it to him again. Get the safety to bite down. That's why Puka be running behind everybody butt naked on a Sunday, because you get people to bite in, or you try to get your safeties confused. There's so many ways to go about this, man. But if I am the Rams, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make this a physical game, and I got to be okay with the non-explosives, because if you can hit 5, 6, 3-yard run, 5-yard pass, boom, eventually a big play is going to be open.
Next 5 minutes, let's talk about Sam Darnold. Daniel Jeremiah was asked by Brock and Salk if Darnold silenced any doubters with his performance against the 49ers.
Oh, I think it absolutely counts. I think it absolutely counts, but I think there's going to be more pressure on him this week, literally and figuratively. So this one, this is a huge one. I think this is one where he's going to need to do more. He's going to need more than he did last week. But I also, going through that tape, there's 3rd and 10, hitting Bobo. There's finding Cooper Kupp on some key throws. To answer your question, look, Sam's gonna have to do more in this game, and I think he's fully capable of doing that. I just like the fact that you could kind of see, and the lead helped, but I never saw any jittery version of Sam in that game. There was never a moment where he looked busy or frenetic. Like he was very, very under control the whole time.
Daniel Jeremiah saying, look, what he does against the Rams obviously matters. But, yeah, a little bit. Like, you didn't see I'm seeing ghosts out there, Sam Darnold against the 49ers. Mike Wilbon, though, thinks Darnold hasn't quieted anything.
Still no. No, Sam Darnold had these games last year, key games. It was a turnover machine. His career...
With a different team.
With Minnesota.
Different team.
His career is marked by less than success.
Okay.
So, no, you have to win at least this one. I'm not even saying he's got to win the Super Bowl, but he's got to win this game at home against a hated division rival.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's an angle. Did he quiet some people? For sure. I just don't like Wilbon respect OG in the game. Like, respect to Wilbon. It's almost like that first game didn't happen to him, though. And I can get it, and I believe that Sam Darnold probably has that same mentality. He should. I'm going to the next game. It's time to roll, for sure. But I think it's important to realize some pressure was taken off him a little bit, even if it was just for a day. You know what players do. Going to celebrate tonight, back at it tomorrow. Yeah, that was a milestone. That was a step in the right direction for him. Winning this one, I think, would silence a whole bunch of people even more. But he took away like half of the crowd. And, look, I want to say, he completed, 12 passes last game, 12 of 17?
Was it 12 of 17?
What was he?
124 or something like that? I know you knew the
Let me look it
line
up real quick. Let me look it up real quick. Let me see. All right, he was, 12 of 17.
Through 3 quarters.
Right, through 3. These are some of the completions he had, right? 2nd and 10, 11 yards to Cooper Kupp. 2nd and 20, 21 yards to Cooper Kupp. 2nd and 8, got a 6 yards to K9. 3rd and 10, you got a 20 yards to Bobo. 3rd and 13, you got 11 yards to JSN setting up, right? 1st and 10, all right, you got a 4-yard to JSN, and then you got 2nd and 13, you got a 15-yard pass to Kupp. Like, we gonna ignore that too, though?
Right.
Like,
that's not dink and dunk.
Those ain't dink. Those are 7 and plus yards out of those 7 completions. 5 of them were for first downs. Like, it's only because he doesn't hit you with the volume that you see with these other players or whatnot. You know why? Because he doesn't have to. Because he ran the heck out of football, and my man had his jacket on in the 4th quarter. He still got work to do. He gotta win this game, and he needs to win it in the fashion that's required for this game. Forget what everyone else is saying. You ain't got to throw for 350. You just win this game in the style that's required, which Mike McDonald said that's exactly what he did. So, yeah, man, it's just they don't be – you know what? I don't cover every team. NFC West – Seahawks, right? I look at everybody else, but They don't go deep into the weeds like this, and they're national, so I don't expect them to go deep into the weeds like this. But let's not act like my man ain't made no throws last game.
Well, and I think the reality is there are some people that are never going to change their mind about Sam Darnold. Just like there are great quarterbacks out there that some people, like Josh Allen had a bad game. And you're not going to see everyone criticizing Josh Allen for having a bad game because everyone knows, well, he's an MVP player. Like, he's amazing, right? If Patrick Mahomes had a horrible year, you'd go, well, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, we just make up our minds, and sometimes it's completely fair. Josh Allen is an incredible player.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is an incredible player. And they're going to have bad days and bad games and bad seasons. It just happens. Sam Darnold has not proven that he's a league MVP. It's okay to doubt him. He had more turnovers than any quarterback in the regular season. It's okay to bring that up. However, you have to be willing to adjust your perception of someone and take in new information over time. And I think what some people are failing to do with Sam Darnold is take in new information over time. And instead of taking in, Sam Darnold had 28 wins over 2 seasons, tying Tom Brady for the most of any quarterback, it's, Sam Darnold played with a great defense both years. Well, hang on. Did Tom Brady in one of those seasons not have, I know this isn't on defense, but not have Randy Moss? What are we acting like Tom Brady had no one around him at all and that Sam did? Sam did it in 2 different systems, 2 different offensive coordinators, 2 different play callers, 2 different head coaches. You can't say, and you can't even try to liken him to Trent Dilfer if the Seahawks go on and win. Look up Trent Dilfer's stats and tell me that that's what Sam Darnold's doing. Absolutely not. Sam Darnold's surpassing those.
It's okay to appreciate where he is and still realize there's more to do.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be either or. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Give him some love.
Absolutely agree. Your Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game, and we've got 2 tickets to get you in the building on Sunday. Open the Seattle Sports app and tap the Win tab to find out how to enter. If you don't have the app, no problem. Text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a download link. Enter every day to increase your chances. This contest runs through tomorrow, Wednesday, January 21st. So enter now only on the Seattle Sports app. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down bump, no surprise, you've been watching film. Get a hobby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Curtis and I are concerned. You watch a lot of film.
Yeah.
We've been telling you to watch Survivor. There are other things you can watch.
You know, I tried to, and I feel guilty watching other stuff. I should be watching football right now.
Okay, well, you've been watching a lot of football, and you picked up on some tendencies from the Rams defense, so tell us about them.
At least against the Bears, this is what I saw. All right, on first downs, you're going to see a lot of cover 6. That's cover 2 to one side. That's cover 4 to the other side. Cover 2, they're typically going to go to the boundary side. So that is the side of the field where it's the tightest, right? The ball is on the right hash, and I'm on offense. The boundary is going to be to my right because it's tighter over there. Cover 2 there, so look for that corner to sit. Look for the safety over the top to have a deep half. On the other side, cover 4, so you're going to have a too high safety look, but that corner is going to have deep, call them deep quarters, I guess, if you're going to call it. Cover 4 one side, cover 2 other side, and the flat defender is going to be that outside backer. There's going to be ways that McDonald and Kubiak are going to attack this, man. It was blatant. I kept watching the film and over and over and over again. This is what I keep seeing. I'm on 2nd and +7. They're going to play a lot of cover 3s. Of course, coaches know this, right? You're going to start with a too high look. That safety is going to turn from too high safety look to a 1 high safety look. He's going to roll down. And this is against 11 personnel and 12 personnel. So 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. That's what they did against the Bears. That's how they decided to attack them. Let's see how they decide to attack Sam Darnold and these guys, because we know they're going to come out in an 11 and 12. The way that Eric Saubert and A.J. Barner have been blocking and playing this whole season, you're going to see 12. You're going to see 11 because A.J. is one of the best tight ends left in the playoffs right now. He might be the best tight end. Him and Colby, who's on the other side? Hunter with New England. And then we'll give him top 3, top 2 or 3, 4 teams, so not too hard. But yeah, and see if you can notice some of that stuff.
2nd down. Joe Burrow making headlines. What has Joe Burrow confirmed?
We don't know what a catch is still.
Oh.
2 situations with Devontae Adams and who was the receiver for the Buffalo Bills during that
During
situation?
What? Is it?
Brandon Cooks.
Thank you.
Cooks, all right. 2 situations, looked a bit different. Burrow says referees both got him right, and I see one that is wrong. And I went back and I read the rule for what is a catch, and it says you must survive the ground with the football. I understand that. But the way that I understand it, my man caught the football, secured the bag, went down to the ground, touched the ground, had control of the football, then the momentum of the DB rolled and he snatched it from him. I'm like, so the DB didn't even make the catch. So you're saying that's a strip. That's a strip fumble or something. Strip something. It's just, I don't know, man. I'll just take the referee's word for it. As long as it doesn't mess up the Seahawks' potential of going to a championship game, I'm not even going to spend my time stressing over this anymore.
The one thing I'll push back against with Joe is Joe's making it seem like, what are we even talking about? Why are we talking about this? They got it right. What's to debate? Joe, it's been a week and people are still, including other players, former players who know a lot about football too, are still going, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
It's pretty borderline. Third down. Brock had a special request for you.
Hey, the fact we got professionals going back and forth about what a catch is ridiculous. All right. He wanted me to break down Puka Nacua and JSN, like what makes them different. And Puka Nacua, man, I love this dude. He's a violent player. It's like he's beating the ground up with his routes. He makes a spectacular catch. He's 6'2", 212 pounds. I wouldn't call him the sharpest route runner, but he's good enough. And I compared him to a NASCAR. When those NASCARs first start, they look pretty. Right, all shiny and clean. By the end of the Daytona 500, the things are beat up, man. They're dusty. The drivers are dusty. The fenders are all jacked up. I get it. That is Puka Nacua. He's a NASCAR. He's going to bump into you. He's going to run around you. He's going to run through you. JSN is a bit different. He's smoother. He's more precise. He has great ball skills. Puka is great. I'm not dissing Puka. He has great ball skills. He understands spatial awareness or whatnot. He's not a NASCAR. He's a Formula One driver. Those cars do not touch. If they touch, they flip, they get all out. The course is different. The track is different, right? In NASCAR, you're going in a circle over and over and over, right? When you go Formula One, man, you're dipping through Las Vegas, right? You got all these different turns and stuff. And it's more of just a sports car type of thing. He is Formula One. Both are excellent. I've loved watching some NASCAR. I love watching some Formula One. Both two of the best receivers in the game. But if I had to compare those two, that's how I would do it. Puka's NASCAR. Jason is Formula One.
Fourth down. We were joined earlier in the show by ESPN's Brady Henderson. Is there anything standing out from that conversation?
Yeah, Brady pointed out something that you brought up to start the show or around the beginning of the show, that is the rest factor going to be a problem with the Rams and the Seahawks. The Seahawks essentially have played 3 quarters this whole playoff. So whereas the Rams have played 2 games and some with an overtime game and in horrible conditions. All right, it's cold out there. You're falling down to the ground. That stuff hurts, man. Matthew Stafford banged up his finger. Is that going to play a factor? I think it could, but I think these guys are pros and they'll be all right. The running back touches. I feel like K9 should get 20 to 25. Brady was like, nah, he'll probably get about the same amount of touches because you got Cam Akers, you got George Halani, you got Village Jones over there as well. I don't mind sprinkling guys in, but we got 2 games left, hopefully. Got to win this one first. He should get 50-plus touches in 2 games if you do make it to the Super Bowl. He also said Sean McVay is a tougher matchup for Mike McDonald than Shanahan. Clearly. The Niners, granted, they were down. Okay, what's his name? Lenore. Okay.
Giamador.
All right, you guys were down. Missing some guys, I understand that. But you're putting up, 9 points in 2 games against the Hawks? And no touchdowns, all field goals. So, yeah, McVay is tougher. 581 yards. Never forget that.
I think this isn't something Brady pointed to, though, something he currently knows, or clearly knows, and it's something you've talked about. The Rams are tougher for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, got a win in that Week 18 game against the 49ers. Obviously, a win in this playoff game against the 49ers. A while earlier last week. Last week, you looked up all of Sam's interceptions for 4-down territory. And a good chunk of the bad play interceptions were, a good chunk of the interceptions are against the Rams, but concerning plays were against the Rams.
Yeah. He's got, 6, I believe, against the Rams. And 2 of them were just great design by the defense. Kobe Turner, who's a D lineman, drops into the middle of the field when he thinks the slant's going to be wide open. You got a DB who's clearly playing man, but he has his eyes in the backfield, jumps off his route and picks that one off. Those 2, you tip your cap and say, okay, you got me. But, yeah, he needs to take care of the football. And the last one, Mike McDonald said we talked about this, last Thursday game, he gave them too much defense, too much to think about. Simplify the game. Let your hounds go over there and do what they do.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming your way in 20 minutes. 866-979-3776. Any questions, send it now. Hype Train coming your way next.
I got to get mentally into this.
The Mike McDonald Show.
That was the most complimentary game you said you've played. Yeah, I could have easily said complete game for sure. That highlights like the synergy and connection that we have with our group. It's not like we're not playing in silos. Defensively, when it's our opportunity to take the field, we're trying to help the offense out. Vice versa offense. We did a great job of scoring in the red zone, finishing drives off, things like that.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for what I need to know. I'm collecting those for 145 866-979-3776. Before we get to it, time to head to the station for Hype Train. The Indiana Hoosiers, congratulations, coming off a perfect 16-0 season that was capped off by a national championship. This is your Hype Train. Indiana, the losingest college football program prior to this, wins at least one more natty this century.
This century?
This century. Whether it's next year.
To the year 2100.
Up to 2100. Well, up to 2126. So like 2114,
okay.
I'll allow.
I was just counting the rest of this.
Oh, I got you. Okay, up to 2100.
The fact that I'm even questioning this lets you know just how crazy college football is right now.
I mean, what if you never know what 2099 brings?
This IU situation has been, but I think Signetti is going to attract some talent. And he signed, what, a 9-year contract?
Yeah.
He'll get one more.
Okay.
He'll get one more.
Okay. Curtis, Indiana wins at least one more natty before 2100.
Boy.
Are you boarding this train?
It's so hard to win one. I mean, Oregon has never won one. Washington's won a half.
Okay,
oh my God.
Again,
you just gave me so much ammo. Whenever you start talking, I'm like, Indiana got more than you.
Well, no, hang on. We have a title. We have a national.
I was talking about
half
Oregon.
one.
Half one. You
Oregon.
shared it.
Yeah.
You shared it. But
you shared it with Miami.
I think that we won, and
Indiana's got one outright. Another one this century. They're so bad. You know how many bowl wins they had before this season?
2.
In school history? 3. You know how many bowl wins they had this season? 3. They doubled their bowl win total in just this season. They're so bad. But I think they get another one in this century. We're boarding this train.
Do you want to call the year? We can go back and play it if you're like 2056.
2029.
Whoa,
sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go 2030.
Wow.
All right.
Love that. No, I'm not boarding this train. Does college football even look like this in 2050? No.
Does college football exist in 2050?
I think the real question is, does Indiana win one more natty over the next 15 years? That's really what I think we're looking at here. No. Oh, why am I saying that? I'm a hater. I don't know why. I'm not boarding this train. Next up. JSN finishes with more yards than Puka on Sunday. As a reminder, Puka had 225 last time these two teams met.
This is easy. No, he's not, because they're going to rely on Puka so much, whereas JSN is going to get his, AJ going to get a catch or 2, Cooper's going to get a catch or 2 or 3, the running backs are going to get involved. Balance is the key to life. So, they're still going to win the game, but Puka's going to have more yards.
Puka finishes with more yards. JSN finishes with more yards than Puka on Sunday. Bump is not boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'm not going to board that one either. I just think Puka Nacua is just going to get a ridiculous amount of looks. And not to say that JSN is going to get ignored or anything, but like Bump said, I mean, JSN is going to be within the confines of the Seahawks offense. I don't think they're going to ask him to do too much, especially this time of year and the amount of success that the Seahawks have had running the ball. I get that now you're just kind of confined to Ken Walker, but I think the Seahawks know that their run game has been their biggest strength on offense over the last month. I think it continues, so I see Puka Nacua finishing with more yards than JSN.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys sitting at the station for this one. I mean, the Seahawks won in a dominant fashion this past weekend with JSN not doing much at all, and I think that they're going to take the similar approach. Different teams, a tougher challenge, but I think maybe the same approach for Seattle. Yeah. Next up, do you believe Jarrett Stidham doesn't matter on Sunday because the Broncos defense is good enough to lift Denver to a Super Bowl?
You don't believe this. If you guys get on this train, I'm not doing the show tomorrow. Okay? Matt, you're going to have to, I'll give you notes. I'll write your script. I'll let you know what to say. There's no way, and you know what, that the Broncos are going to win a Super Bowl, let alone put up 15 points against the Patriots. It's a wrap. Stidham, get your check. I'm happy for you. You're back in this game. It's over.
It really is unfair that the Seahawks are facing the second best team in DVOA and like the toughest matchup that anyone faces this year. And then the Patriots are basically booking their hotels and packing their bags for Super Bowl 60.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's going to take something catastrophic.
Well, let's see what happens. Jarrett Stidham doesn't matter on Sunday because the Broncos defense is good enough to lift Denver to a Super Bowl. No. Curtis, are you boarding?
That Patriots offense is rolling right now. And if I'm Denver, I'm just kind of happy to be here at this moment. Jarrett Stidham, does he even have a win in his career?
In his career, yes.
He does.
In 2023, 1-1.
One career win. Was that a Week 18 win? Do those even count anymore?
Yes.
It was a Week 17 win.
That counts even
where they beat the
more.
Chargers 16-9.
Great game.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't see it happening. I think the Patriots roll on Sunday, so I'm not boarding this train.
Yeah, I'm not boarding either. I know that I put it out there as a joke, but this feels like Boston is just blessed as a sports city. They really are.
They are.
And this is yet another way that the sports gods have been like, you know what, New England? Follow us. You know what? We'll go ahead and first-class ticket for you to head to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60. Next up, Ken Walker has another 100-yard rushing performance in the NFC title game. Bump is a believer. Curtis, are you boarding?
We're boarding this train. Ken Walker's going to go, That's from Ken Walker. Yeah.
You know what I wish?
That's okay.
I wish we could hear that. I wish we could just hear the sounds that are being made on a football field. All the grunting.
I'm boarding as well.
Yeah, what sounds is he going to make, Stacy?
That don't sound like 100 yards.
Get out of my way.
That sounds like he got tackled for a 5-yard line.
Next up. Matt can name the 4 quarterbacks remaining in the playoffs.
He cannot name them. No.
Bump, are you boarding?
No, I'm not. I love you, Matt.
You're not even. You don't believe a little bit?
Not iota.
Wow, no faith. Curtis, your last time frame. Matt can name the 4 quarterbacks remaining in the playoffs.
I think you get 1 of 4. I don't think you get all 4.
Matt, do you know the 4 teams remaining in the playoffs?
The Seahawks?
Yes.
Wait, before you name the rest, Matt can name the rest is your next type train bump.
Yes, I think he can name the rest.
Okay. Curtis?
Yes.
Okay, Matt.
The Rams?
Yes.
It's 2.
You got it.
2.
You got it. Take your time. Okay, we have dead air, Matt.
We just talked about one.
We did.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
Yes.
There we go. One more.
Yes.
Come on.
You got it. You got it.
It was actually pretty easy. It's
just a good old.
You got it. I just mentioned them as the gods are blessing them.
Good old
William Wallace.
What?
Yeah.
Nope, that's a different movie. Yeah.
Is it?
That's Braveheart.
My bad. Same actor though.
Patriots.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks can you name though?
Okay, yeah.
Oh. Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Good old Jimmy Two Shoes.
There we go.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
That's Jarrett Stidham.
Yes, Stidham.
That's he meant to say Jarrett Stidham is what he meant. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done.
We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
We are well into the rainy season, Seattle, but it's not too late to get your roof replaced. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project this winter. Our certified technicians build a custom plan for your home, ensuring a worry-free installation even in the winter months. Replace your roof now while material prices are low and lead times are short. Stop wasting your time on costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals.
Pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be?
For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Matt, what are you doing?
I guess you'll just have to tune into the end of the show to find out.
It's not going to make any sense out of context.
Make it to the end of the show.
Best part. It rewards people for listening to the whole show. Stacy.
What I need to know, would you rather season your food with only salt or only pepper for the rest of your life? The answer is very obviously salt.
Salt.
It's very obviously salt.
Because pepper, like you kind of taste it, it's there.
Salt's the most important thing.
It needs a companion. Salt, you can just throw that thing on there.
If you can't use, think of how gross food is without salt. Even like in cooking, you use so much of it. No, I understand where you're going with that one, but would you rather, okay, how about this? Only salt? No, I don't have a companion question. What I need to know. Okay, you can't choose first class. What's the best seat for a 3-hour flight on an airplane?
Business.
Exit row.
You can't pretend you can't
Exit
choose.
row.
That's not first class. That's the class after first class.
Okay.
Business select.
Okay. Business select, Bump says.
Exit row.
Exit row. Okay, fine.
Yep.
I thought we were going middle aisle window. I thought that's how we were answering.
I'm usually a window guy.
Yeah, definitely window.
Oh, aisle. I gotta stretch my legs.
I don't.
I like being able to rest my head and fall asleep.
It is nice to be able to not have to go, excuse me, just to go past people to go to the bathroom. But for a 3-hour flight, I don't need to go to the bathroom.
Good. Go before, I'm good.
What I need to know, what can we take from the fact that there's only one top 10 salary quarterback in the Final Four of the playoffs? Can we revive the narrative that you can't win with your quarterback taking up too much of your salary cap?
No,
Remind me again, who was in the Super Bowl last year? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and frankly, Jalen Hurts.
Lamar's hurt.
Yeah, Lamar. Josh Allen threw his way out of this one after helping them to it.
The only quarterback getting paid like $50 million who probably doesn't deserve it is Tua.
Yeah.
Maybe Purdy.
Trevor Lawrence.
I see what you're asking, which is, hey, let's say hypothetically Sam Darnold wins. We have an example of a quarterback not getting paid top dollar, and then all the things you can do around that. But you simply are not going to be able to not pay Patrick Mahomes top dollar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I look forward to the discourse to come out of this Super Bowl for sure, listener. What I need to know. Let's see. What is the impact of having two competent running backs in the NFL today? After watching CMC break down by the end of the year and seeing how fresh K9 looks, it seems like a huge benefit. My concern is, does last week's workload have an impact on K9's effectiveness this week?
No, he's good. Them legs have been saved because you had a 1-2 combo all year. This is the way the league is going, man. It's going this way. And he'll be fine, though. Sprinkle in some other guys every now and then. He'll be good to go.
What I need to know, help me settle this debate. Who has the best fries?
Best fries.
Is McDonald's a boring answer? No. I know the answer. Wingstop Cajun fries.
Ooh, they do have good
I don't think I've ever had them.
Bump.
Never had them.
My new identity is Wingstop now. I ordered it for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah. And I'm a big Wingstop girly.
Have you guys ever been to rallies?
I've been to one, yeah.
Cali?
They don't have them up here.
Nah. It's like a Raising Cane's, I want to say, right? You been to Raising Cane's?
It's kind of, yes.
I would say rallies are my favorite fries. That's some Cali stuff, though.
I have no. I wish I could be like, okay, nice, but I don't even know what they look like.
No,
well, how about this?
Different.
What's the best fry? Like, what makes a perfect fry?
The crispiness.
Okay, yes.
The seasoning.
Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the super potato-y.
You don't like Red Robin steak fries?
I don't. I'll eat them, but they're not in my top 5 at all. At all. Yeah. It's Wingstop, my new favorite place. McDonald's.
Yeah, you can order Red Robin fries extra crispy.
Oh, that's what I need to do because I don't like steak fries.
McDonald's fries are so consistent, though, man.
Oh, you know what's
consistent.
Horrendous? Wrinkle fries. Crinkle fries.
You don't like those?
No.
What about the other ones?
Because they're too potato-y.
What are the other ones that look like checkerboards? What are those called?
Oh, waffle fries. Those are delicious.
Chick-fil-A waffle fries?
Those are great.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic. What I need to know, you get one movie on a deserted island to watch till the end of time or until you're rescued. What is
One movie.
One movie.
To watch to the end of time.
Yeah, or until you're rescued.
Whichever
comes
I just
first.
watched it the other day and I realized is how good it was, man. Training Day. I'm going Training Day.
No, I've seen it.
You haven't seen Training Day?
I know of Training Day.
Matthew, have you seen Training Day?
Of course.
Curtis?
I think most people have.
Yes.
All right. Is this a cultural thing?
No,
Am I the only
not.
one here
No,
who's seen
it's
Training
not a
Day?
cultural thing.
Didn't Denzel win an Oscar for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the basic principle is Denzel is a cop.
He's a
Detective.
dirty cop.
Dirty cop. And then there's a twist at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Someone said Castaway. That would be too heavy-handed.
It'd be like, yeah. It's like watching in a mirror.
I need to escape. You know? I need like Mean Girls or something stupid that just I'm not even thinking about being on an island. What I need to know. Bump, choose. Seahawks win the Super Bowl, but you never break 90 again in your life.
Wow.
Or Seahawks lose the Super Bowl, but you break 80 every time you golf for the rest of your life. Well. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
A little challenge for Bump's priorities.
I can't do that to myself. I spend way too much money playing golf. There's no way I'm not going to break 90 ever again. Can't do it.
Okay, what if it means the Seahawks never win a Super Bowl again? Wow.
Can't do it.
You heard it here first, folks.
You know how much money I spend on golf a year? Too much. You give me, I'm going to go out there and play like poop every single time?
Wow.
Can't do it.
So you'll take
Sorry, Hawks.
the Seahawks never winning a Super Bowl.
This is a hypothetical, and this is not real life.
Wow.
Okay?
Someone said the Checkers fries. They're laughing about it. Let's see. I had a couple more. What I need to know. Who do we want raising that 12th man flag? I've already answered this. Who do you want?
This game?
Mm-hmm.
You said you wanted like all LOB, right?
I said all the Mariners.
Oh, man.
So like get Cal and Julio and Josh Naylor. Even just Josh Naylor. I know it has nothing to do with Seahawks, but like there was so much excitement from the Mariners.
Every previous NFC Championship game here it was Paul Allen. So I would imagine Jody.
Oh, Jody Allen. Okay.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
I also want to correct myself. Last time I said bring the whole LOB from the tip, and then I said Malcolm Butler instead of Malcolm Smith. My mistake.
Yeah, I don't want to see Malcolm Butler anywhere near that stadium.
Again in my life. Not in my life.
Arrest him.
Oh, God. What I need to know. I have a couple here. Do y'all know when the last time the Seahawks faced two division teams in the playoffs?
Never.
Hint, it wasn't in the NFC. So it happened when they were in the AFC West?
They played the Raiders.
For Matt, if every NFL team were quarterbacked by a Marvel or DC hero, who would be the final four quarterbacks?
Reed Richards, master strategist. Stretchy powers would be helpful.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time. The show's ending.
Well, what about just the next? Who would be a great quarterback that's a Marvel person?
Professor X. He would just make everyone think he won the game.
Okay, not bad. Not bad. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Oh.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh, my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment, and I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance, and I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had a million questions, and they walked us through every step of the process, and then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down to get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident.
But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's Accident Response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today.